Just getting set up, guys. All right. Got us going here. Just waiting for it to go live. It takes a few minutes to show up, but I think we're going to be live in a few seconds. Well, good morning, everybody, or good evening to those in the West. Very early for some of you if you're on the East Coast. West Coast, my gosh. What's wrong with my brain? You can tell, well, it's Sunday morning here, but it is 10 a.m. I should be awake much more than that. Look at these bags under my eyes. You know what these come from? Not sleeping 3 hours a night, sleeping actually 6 to 8 hours, apparently has that kind of effect, which makes absolutely no sense. I expected myself to be the other way around. I was expecting it to be the more sleep I get, the better things get. But yeah, for some reason, how do I'm going to try to reload this. Welcome to the new member. And all right. I'm trying to get my, oh, there they are. They're all coming. They're coming. Hello, everybody. There we go. Now we're back into place. Good morning, This is what happens when I hit my table. Anyway, so I just came back to Iloilo. It's actually been, well, what's today? Sunday. It's been a week. Sunday night was the last time. So when the video that I uploaded this morning was from last Sunday night. So that's how far behind I fell because I was doing so many things when I was in Dumaguete and when I was in all the areas around it, but also Siquijor. So yeah, there was just too much content to be able to put out. And that's the beauty thing of traveling nonstop is, well, it's easy to get new content and so much of it, right? That's kind of the problem, which is a good problem to have. I don't mind that, but I do end up falling very, very behind. So I do have more, but the good thing is I got a few days where I could deal with, my toe, go to the doctors, deal with that kind of stuff, deal with, paying all the bills and do laundry, all the cool stuff that you have to do in life. So I got some time to do it, which was great. I do expect to head over to, it depends on the motorcycle rental, but do a trip around Guimaras or Guiramas, if I say it correctly, because yeah, I've been there to that island many, many times, but not really toured the whole island sort of thing, not really done much, just went to very specific events or specific places. And that's because, well, I didn't even consider, yes, I can drive a motorcycle over there on the Roro and then just come right back. So yeah, I do have that planned. My chat is not keeping up, and there's so many on here that I'm hopeful that this is going to get figured out because I'm going to have to do something. I hate to do this, but I have to pop it out again. I think that's going to have to be the only way I'm going to be able to make this work. And because it's not showing up here in there might be some kind of problems or something, I don't know, but now it's starting to show up again. And yeah, you're going to have to write different chat. It's not even deleting it. Why isn't it deleting it? All right. Now it is. My computer's just running slow. I don't understand it. There we go. I got 10 notifications. Windows capture. Where did it go? Where are you? Windows. All right. So sorry about this, guys. I'm going to make this very, very quick. If I can. If not, I will just skip over that. And it still should show up. Here it is. Windows capture add source. And this add. There we go. I'm going to fix that real quick so it doesn't look like that. Oh, wow. There'll be a black box, but we'll leave it at that. It's no big deal. And got my sample thing there. Or we'll just change it to something else. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to have a black bar when I show things there. Oh, well, this wasn't supposed to happen, but it did. That's all right. There we go. Good enough. All right. Good morning, everybody. The internet has been slow everywhere. Yeah, well, we're in the sun cycle right now, and actually, I think the chat is continuing to be problematic because we're getting way too many here. So I might have to do something different. I don't know. All right. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something different. All right. Anyway, I'll just leave it at that. I'll be able to read it in this screen anyway, so we'll do that somehow, some way, somewhere. I'm gonna need eyeglasses because it's so small. 6 p.m. on the West Coast, exactly. Oh, 6 p.m. Yeah, why? What does I think? Never mind. Never mind. I'm used to when I do a live at night that it is in the morning. Okay, so Secure, Dumageddon. Let's talk about that. So a lot of people realize that it is a wonderful place. It really is. A lot different than I expected, obviously, because of the options that are available. So you got like the mountain life where a lot of people lived up there, which is quite cool. And the fact that you're so close to the water, like 15-minute drive with no traffic, as somebody pointed out, like no stop signs, no red lights or anything like that. It just goes straight in, and you're right into the Dumageddon City area. Was pretty good. Yes, I know people say the traffic's a little crazy there, but that's because of the one ways. And also, I noticed on the main strip there, sometimes people go really crazy fast, and you got to try to cross that road, which seemed a little crazy for me. No taxis and no Grab. So I get all that. Put that aside. That is true. But outside of that, like really, really convenient. And then living further down on the beach where you have gorgeous, gorgeous beaches. Like I don't mind that the sand was like brown. It's still soft and silky like white sand beaches. So for me, it's like, wow, the price really makes up for that. And either way, I actually thought it was really nice. So it didn't bother me at all. The water was super clean, clear. And then even further down where Alex lived, by the way, Alex, what a legend, right? Like he just walked up to me on my first day. I was totally like, how lucky can I be that he just walks up to me as I'm vlogging and he's like, I watch your vlog. I've been watching you for a long time in Vancouver. And next thing you know, saying, listen, I was born here. Only come here a few months every year until I retired. Now I'm spending a lot more time here. Do you want me to show you some stuff around? Like you can't ask for better than that. Like it was so cool. So shout out to Alex. What a legend. Really, really was wonderful and helping me out and taking care of me to make sure that I, you know, was able to find all the things that I could find. That would have taken me a lot longer if I hadn't had him, you know, show up like that. That was really, really cool. I'm so happy I met him. So good on you, Alex. That was awesome of you. So anyway, all the way down there, just so beautiful. But for me, I was like, this is perfect place to retire. It really is. It's a perfect place to retire. And yes, they have an airport there. You can fly a couple places, that kind of thing. But like you didn't hear planes very often for a reason because there's like one or two flights. I was explained for me to be able to fly anywhere that I wanted to go. Like if I wanted to fly back to Iloilo, it was only a late flight that I would take. It would take me to Manila. Then I'd have to go stay overnight and the next day be able to go to Iloilo, that kind of thing. So you kind of need an international airport. So one day I'm sure they might have that. My understanding is they're going to move the airport, and that's going to be like a mega world sort of thing, except for it's a Chinese developer that's already bought the land, I'm sure, or I'm told, sorry. So that's going to change quite a bit. So but for now, like it is ideal for people who are retired. I don't think I like, you know, what's very crazy and amazing is there's very few foreign vloggers here in Iloilo. So I'm not like one of 100 and something. So I can cover things that people are never seen, maybe. Show people the lives here that they maybe never seen. You know, I'm not going to take credit for it, but like a lot of people are now moving here because they saw our vlogs. Again, I'm not taking the credit. The city sells itself, right? Like you can see in the camera, and that's what, you know, I didn't put those things there. All I did is capture them. So I'm not taking credit. I'm telling you the city here is just, and then what happens is all the foreign friends, as you know, they come here and then they're like, oh my God, I want to live here. So it's not like I'm blowing smoke up your ass or anything. It literally is that good here. But also, I know other people they get really angry and everything, and they're like, "Wow, it's not like this. It's not like that." Okay, I came here, and yes, I'm easy to please. Very, very, very easy to please. I get it. I'm the kind of person, but that's because I'm the kind of person that sets my expectations at a certain level. If I go to Dubai, I'm going to have Dubai expectations. But I came to the Philippines, and I've been to so many different parts of the Philippines. And, even the reason I moved to Iloilo, leaving Cataclan on a little motorbike and just going through all the provinces, Aklan and Antique, which is, beautiful, but small towns, not a lot of comforts, creature comforts, that kind of thing that you expect out of a city or anything. And I had never heard of Iloilo, never, like zip, other than maybe people have said, "Oh, you should try out Iloilo," and I'm like, "Oh, okay," not knowing anything about it, ever hearing it. And so I didn't think anything of it, but I got here and I pulled in, and that was real shock. Like, wow, this place is so beautiful and clean and modern and surrounded by provinces. So you can be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, depending where you live in the city, right into the provinces. So right now I'm just on the border of Pavia. So of course I can be in the provinces very quickly. My last house was right on the border of Otan. So I'm in the city, but I'm like at the top, makes it really quick to get in and out for me. And so, yeah, I was really blown away by this place. It sold itself on me. And then my camera nowadays, and for the last, 2 years? No, a year and a bit I've been here, has just been showing exactly what I see here. And people have not been disappointed when they've decided to come here. Now, it may not have been for everybody because if you're, like I've mentioned many times, if you're a single guy looking for girls, that kind of thing to like be hitting on you or anything, it probably won't happen here very much. You all can see it's a higher income population, that kind of thing. Also, a lot of them have big career goals and stuff like that, and they're not a province type, place where they would rather just stay at home, have kids, just have a simpler life, that kind of thing. Here, their ambitions are quite high, and they're going to go, and a lot of them go off to, Canada, the United States, whatever, to make money. They're in the BPOs. On the main floor is where you can see all the hiring agencies for all the different countries, and they are lined up out the door, plus packed inside of all the people going in. And trust me, they'll take almost anybody in Canada and places like that. And so, yeah, there's just a huge amount, and that means a ton of money comes back to Iloilo because they're sending money back to their families and stuff like that. And then all the OFWs that, go spend 10 years are now coming back and spending their money that they had saved up, earning in the United States, Canada, stuff like that. And they're buying these beautiful houses. Condos are just screaming fast. And I've told you before, like if you want to live in Festive Walk, to rent, for example, when you come down here, every time I try to book a rental to show people what it looks like there, they cancel on me. So I actually ran into, and I don't know if they're in the video, but the vice president of MegaWorld, and I was introduced to her. And so I explained to her, this is the thing. Like I would love to show your stuff, but it's never available. And people aren't going to sight unseen a condo very often. Some will as investments. So it might be like, okay, it's clearly crazy over there. I'm going to buy like a couple of them sight unseen, but I want you to immediately furnish and lease them. And MegaWorld does that stuff. All of them pretty much will do that stuff. So maybe it's possible, but for the most part, if you're moving here, you're going to want to try out the place first. You might want to rent for 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever. Make sure you like the area before you put down $50,000 or $60,000 or $100,000 even. Oh, thank you very much for the donation here. Let's see what it says. Mike, you are the goat. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'd normally feature it, but it's broken right now. So anyway, yeah, I really, so after having that conversation with her, she's like, yes, I'll give you a tour of all of them. And one of the biggest thing about condos, my own complaint, a lot of your complaints, is they're just too small. Who wants to live in a 25 square meter box and pay the same amount as it would cost to have a whole house? And yes, obviously the answers are convenience. Like everything is within fingertips away. Like just walk out your door and tons of restaurants and bars and always stuff going on and malls and everything. It's just right down, walk down your or go down your elevator and walk right out the door. But I don't know. I love outdoor life where you can just sit in quiet, not with people, and just sit out here on my patio, that kind of thing. This isn't the most ideal for me. I like greenery and scenery and that kind of thing. I don't like a wall, but anyway, it is what it is for this house for now. So yeah, that's all going to be a part of my decision making, but other people, they love it. Anyway, so that she's like, oh no, we have 130 square meter size condo. I didn't know that. That's really, really big condo. So she said, no problem. We're going to arrange it. So you'll be see every one of our condos. So that's good. It doesn't mean that there's any for rent right now or anything like that, but at least you'll know what they look like. At least I want to know what they look like. I want to see a 130 square meter condo. When we were in Rojas City, that 2-story loft one was 84 square meters, something like that. So that would be another 50 square meters on top of that sort of thing, or 40 something. And so, yeah, it should be quite large for a condo. So I want to see that. Plus the amenities, all the pools and the gyms and everything obviously have a big selling point to it. You don't have any maintenance. You don't cut the grass. You don't have to worry about your roof leak. You don't have to worry about termites. You don't have to worry about all the things that you might worry about. So, yeah, there's good selling points in all of that. So anyway, back to it. Dumaguete is a fantastic place for retirement. Siquijor, fantastic place, maybe even to stay 3 months. I wouldn't live there. I'd go stir crazy. It would feel like when I lived on Boracay. Very touristy. People come and go. I'm sure there's some locals you can make friends with. And don't get me wrong, just like on Boracay, I had a lot of friends that I had established that do live there. But for what I do, I need constant action. I need things to be always changing and better and just moving around easily, and international airports and, just go, that kind of thing is pretty important for me, but I'm a little unique that way. So just to give you an idea, Siquijor, if you're going to retire and want a super simple life, don't want any shopping malls, don't want anything like that unless you jump on a boat for 40 minutes both ways, that kind of thing. That would be a perfect place. But for the most part, Dumaguete would be a way better choice for the retirement thing. And I think the camera showed most of it. I think that give you a good idea of what it's like to live there, that there is a lot that you can enjoy, and 24-hour restaurants, like that's fantastic. I'm not talking McDonald's, like that's Sizzler place or whatever. That was really cool. So I really liked all of that quite a bit. But for me, no, I think I'm better off keep looking, and I am going to keep looking, and I am going back to Rojas City, by the way, because I'm still. I know when I was down there, and they're like, "Well, why didn't you go in and see if you can rent one of the houses on the beach?" Brand new channel, starting from zero, December 1, right? It's going to take me some time to build up everything so that I have, because you want to move into a new place, you need 3 months rent, right? They're all very rarely you can get less than walk in with 3 months rent. Your first month and maybe a last and a deposit. Some of them are first months and 2 deposits. I recommend do not go to two deposits. You probably will not be able to get away with no deposit. But here I negotiated, like my rent is $28,000 a month. So I negotiated first, last, and $20,000 deposit. So less than a month. And that's the best I could get. They would not budget. I gave them a week to think about it, even just saying, well, you have my offer. They did not contact me. They played hardball the whole way. And obviously it was pretty smart of them, because since that day, they could have waited 3 months and then rented for another $8,000 a month, and maybe that person would have stayed for a year. So it's a massive growth area right now, and there's just more and more people that can afford it because there's so many people moving to Iloilo City. And I'm not talking about expats here. I'm talking about locals, people returning, OFWs, that kind of thing. And because the BPOs are hiring like crazy, all their executives and stuff like that, they put them for free into homes and stuff like that, and sometimes condos, and it's all free for them. The BPO pays all the costs. So quickly, I just want to go through here, make sure I'm not missing anything here. Smurf Crusher, hello. Let's see, Growing Cheetah, good evening. By the way, And all the people with the little stars beside their name, thank you very much. Those are members. I really appreciate it. You guys helped me out quite a bit. You gave me, I think I have 24 members today now. And it's that join button beside subscribe. It helps me out. It gives me like a few dollars for each person every month that I don't have to worry. It's like a baseline or whatever. So you make like, I don't know, I think $83 a month or something like that. I make off that. That helps, that little part there. So I do appreciate that very much. And you're just helping to support channel. But it is not required, to be very, very clear. All I require is you subscribe. Obviously, I won't even let you comment unless you subscribe. How devious of me. So let's see. Samuel, good morning. 2 thumbs up. Thank you very much. Are you helping Bianca? So Bianca and I, because we are in this lease together, we split the bills. So that's the electrical, the water, the rent, the internet. What am I missing? Some of the other things, like I pay $34 Canadian a month for Premiere Pro to edit videos, so we split that. Well, we're under the same roof. Certain costs we split. I think it's fair, right? 50-50 because we're in the same roof. But until the lease is done, until we're out, right? Once we're out, then 100% your own bills, that type of thing, right? Now, I may not have a place to go by the time this ends. And the reason, what I'm going to probably do, I wanted to feature this, but it's going to pop up in a minute. Anyway, Growing Cheetah, you bring amazing content, knowledge, entertainment. Just please don't burn out. We all have patience to wait for the rest. Rest up. Lots of content from Montreal. Thank you very much, Growing Cheetah. Oh, there it is right there. Thank you. Appreciate it very much. I do appreciate that. And I did get a chance, like I said, this week to relax a little bit because I was going to end up burning out. And I know that. I have to balance myself, but I'm so focused on growing the channel. And honestly, it's not even that. Like when I was traveling there was so much cool stuff to film. Like so many things that I could have turned the camera on and made content out of it, but I'm like, I already have too much. I'm just going to enjoy the moment. So there's that too, right? Like I do really like doing what I enjoy, so I can't complain about that. I'm going to move that over, that little alert box, because it's on my head. I'm going to put that to the side here. There we go. So anyway, so I have that option that when the lease ends here, that I can put my stuff in a friend's house in storage, and I can just take the bus and just ride from town to town and checking out places everywhere, just stay temporary places and have no costs at home, right? No thing I have to live on, and make sure I always cover that kind of thing so that I can save up enough money, because I got to replace my drone. I'm hoping that's solved very soon though. My GoPro's dead. The button on the top fell off. Now it's not waterproof. It's not dead. It's on its last leg. And then my phone. I know I have to take my phone. So I got a few things I have to cover first, and those are priorities for me. So maybe finding a home to live in, maybe not my top priority right away, but eventually, of course, I want to have you need a place to put your head down that says, this is my home, and you can have everything set up the way you like it, even if you're going to do traveling. It's going to be nice. Yeah, Denigian, Werner, yes, I had a fantastic time. Again, my videos are a little behind, so you will see some from me. Of my time at Denigian, I caught the illumination. Immediately after we're done this live, I'm heading out to go enjoy more of Denigian also. And so I'm very much enjoying Denigian. It's been going on for a month. There's different events all the time, but this weekend is never ending, and it doesn't matter what part of the city you are in. You go downtown, there's tons of stuff. You go Festival Walk, there's tons of stuff. SM, tons of stuff everywhere. It is, I believe they're going to expect about 1 million people this year to descend on here. And this is a population of 500,000. So the city will get, a lot of visitors just from this. The flights are all packed to come in here for this weekend. And it's pretty crazy. Good luck renting a hotel or anything like that right now. All right. So Tim, PNW, good morning. Thanks for sharing your journey with us here. Thank you very much for joining it, actually. After Ilo City, are you planning to live? Yeah. So I think it's just Eric Cav. Yeah. So Eric, yeah, that's the good thing about having this lease is forcing me to wait and be patient. I don't have to figure this out right away. And like I said, I can jump on a bus and spend a couple months before I even put my head down anywhere. But yeah, I'm going to be going to Batangas, which is at the not the bottom, but one bottom of Manila or Luzon, sorry. And then from there, I'm going to check out Batangas and Taal area, that volcano area, which is Talise. Is that right? I might be screwing it up. And work my way up. I have friends that I can stay at, which is really helpful. They have spare bedrooms, that kind of thing. So I'm going to stay at their friend's house in Manila, or well, Makati, actually, technically. And then heading up to Pampanga, where a friend of mine that I've known since Boracay, him and his family, they had a house there. They rented an apartment there. They had a house. They rented a Mac 10, and they keep moving because they weren't happy where they live. So they got bored of Boracay. They didn't really like Mac 10 very much. Mac 10 was like struggling to come back after the massive typhoon. Like there's literally ships out on the land because they were thrown. Windows shattered everywhere, that kind of thing. Oh, Michael Onstad. Thank you very much, Michael. Awesome insurance broker. Really, really appreciate that. And so they went up to Pampanga and got this massive house. I'm telling you, he sent me videos of it. Huge house, big compound, swimming pool of his own. Could park like 10 vehicles in there. So he's got a truck that he bought recently, and he's got a scooter. He's got a barbecue. He's got everything he really needs. And he paid like very little comparative to what he paid in Mac 10 and compared to what he paid, I think about the same as he paid on Boracay for an apartment. So really, really amazing. All right. Let's see. We got I got some big donations coming up. They're going to show up on the screen any minute. I always wonder if I'm saying it right. Is Ars Ortiz? I think it is. It's $20. So thank you. Wow, that's amazing. Hope this helps a little towards your repairs. Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. I did try to repair the drone twice. It failed both times. But I found a used one where I didn't. Robert did. Bob, who let me stay in his house when I was in Bacolod. He's teaching right now, so he's not on this live. He did send me some list of questions that he had for me, and I'll probably answer a couple of them, so because I know he's going to watch this later. But yeah, he found one like 8,500 pesos or something like that. It's an 80,000 pesos, a $1,500 drone that they want only $150 for, 10% the price. We're not sure if it's real. We don't know if it's a scam, but they gave me a number, said, yes, come on over. I'll launch it so you can see that it works and that it records, all that. And if the guy's willing to do all that, then it's got to be legit. So I'm praying. So thank you very much. I don't know why it hasn't popped up yet. Hopefully it'll pop up. And we also have Stephen New just sent me a sticker there. Thank you very much. Another $19.99, another $20. So really, really, really cool. It's actually, it says, here's the first one there. So they will pop up. It says it's my first super on a live stream. So like, I think a super sticker or something like that. Really cool of you. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. So yeah, I'm going to go from Luzon up to Manila, up to Pampanga, stay at friends' houses, which will help me a lot. And then I'm going to La Union, and hopefully Michael Onstad might have a spare bedroom. I think we've talked about this before. It's up to you, Michael. Because I want to check out La Union area, which is like the lower end. So Baguio is up in the mountains. If you go down the mountains, and there's a whole beach area there where apparently a lot of people love to live, and it's really beautiful. So I'm going to be checking out that area. Then I'll go up to Baguio. Then I'll go to Vigan. I really want to go to Vigan. It looks like, just from pictures, right out of a movie that you think you're in a Spanish town. Absolute cobblestone streets, just beautiful architecture, all that kind of stuff. I know most of it was rebuilt after World War II, but still, it looks picture perfect, beautiful, that kind of thing. So yeah, my plan was to either go to Batangas all the way up, or another option would be to fly into Vigan, Baguio, something like that. I don't know where the airports are, and make my way down, one of the two. So that'll be like very soon, very, very soon. I have a few things I have to do, but I wanted to the part about a bus is really pain in the butt. For me, is that I miss out everything in between. And I've talked about this before, that it just takes you from destination to destination, but you're looking out the bus window going, oh, this place looks cool. This place looks cool. And I don't want to miss all of those. And it's funny because I think I just heard regular guys saying the same sort of thing. And I'm like, see, I'm not the only one that thinks that way. Everybody thinks that way. There's so much in between, but we only focus on the big cities themselves. So we'll see. I don't know. Does anybody know anything about motorcycle rentals in Batangas, that kind of thing? Or, yeah, no, but I won't be returning to the same place. That would really make my trip hugely long. So maybe not. But maybe I'll just take a shorter distance buses and then spend a little bit more time. I'm not sure. I got to figure all that out. I know. So yeah, February 4th to February 8th, I am back in Rojas City because the Chinese New Year is going on up there, and they've invited me to come back. And like I said, I still have a lot of thoughts in my head about that city. It's like an opportunity to be where in Iloilo 3, 4, 5 years ago, just before it blew up and everything, so you can live more cost effective. But with this huge, beautiful, long stretch of beach, like, it sounds pretty darn amazing to me on the whole. So I just wanted to be sure. I wanted to really get through the whole thing, and I'm excited for that. Watched your let's see, Eric says, watch that Rojas City vlog, especially around Bay Bay Beach. That looks like a good place to rent close to the seaport. Yeah, in the malls. Yeah, exactly. And if I was in a position, I would have started to knock on doors and ask people, because there are some, it's very clear, they might have like somebody doing maintenance and property stuff. It wasn't overgrown or anything, but it was also clear that it was shuttered up. And so just talking to the neighbors and everything, find out what's going on with that place. You very, very, like the doctor had said, 80% likelihood if I went down the beach, I'd find something for rent. So I'm very, very excited to be able to have that ability one day to go do that if I want to move there, because I just imagine waking up every morning and you walk out and you're right there on the beach. Like, you have to be rich to think of that, right? So to have a place that's a city, 5 minutes, 10 minutes drive, whatever, down the road to a major mall, and you can live like that, and you can live within a budget. Ooh. Sounds pretty exciting to me. So, yeah, I would enjoy that a lot. Let's see. Calvary says 90 square meters is about is as small of a 2-bedroom I'd want to live in. For a 1-bedroom, 50 to 60. I plan on checking out Iloilo, but probably will base out of Dumaguete. Yeah, it's tough because they're making these studios at 25. They're making the 1-bedrooms like 35, 40. They're just too small. And I try to make sure I always pressure them that way. Anybody who might have any say in that, whoa. You guys are asking me to show off something. My audience, especially now that I'm separated away from Bianca and have my own stream, is now we're getting close to 80% male. I thought the men would go down, the women would go up. It turned out to be the other way around. I ended up getting more men than when Bianca. The age groups also changed, right? So we got less people under 25, essentially. And also another thing is the United States is by far my number one audience. Canada is like a distant second. Philippines third, believe it or not. So, yeah. So if you want me to show something great, wonderful, but you got to stop showing a 25 square meter box. Nobody's going to move. Now they've saved up their whole money for the rest of their whole lives. They want to retire or, relocate, that kind of thing. And they're going to come to the Philippines to live, and they're not going to come here and live in a 25 square meter box. I'm sorry. That's just not going to be appealing to them. You need to have some options of, larger places, bigger windows. Stop making little prison cell windows on these condos. Like, who are you selling to? Who wants to live in a containing box? And they're like, yeah, but it's cheaper on air conditioning. Yeah, $5-10 a month. If you want a target audience of people, because they're not charging 2 million pesos for these condos. Let's be honest. They're charging 8. They're charging 10, 12, 14, 16 up. Crazy prices, like for, considering you are in the Philippines. So that's fine, but provide the value. Show, like, that you actually would want to live in there, like not just sleep in there and just eat and sleep and get outside all the time. I get it. Super located, well located, conveniences everywhere, but I don't know. I don't know. Like my condo I had in Mississauga. Yeah, it's small. Oh, Mallory, thank you very much, Mallory. 336 days till the Philippines, Michael. Fantastic, Mallory. I know. I didn't, oh, it's under a year. Yeah, that's right. I'm so excited. I can finally come this year. That's fantastic. Hope to still meet you when been waiting for this forever. Yeah, well, you're gonna enjoy it very much, and I'm sure we'll meet. Don't worry, Mallory. I'm sure we'll be around. Um, and so when my condo was floor to ceiling, 2-story. It was a studio, but it was very skinny. It was very skinny. Don't get me wrong. It was small, but it was floor to ceiling, 2-story high windows that you lay up on your bed and you can see all the way down to, even it was glass on the for the balcony, all the way down to the ground. You know, everything. You just walk into your condo and it's like see as far as you can imagine. It was 44th floor, something like that. And I had to pay 2,500 a month though. And so you're paying for the view in the studio part. Otherwise, it would have been like 2,000 a month for one that was only one floor but equal floor space. And but at least they gave you the windows or whatever, so you don't feel claustrophobic in a small space. Anyway, um, let's see. I'm just checking over the comments here. So serene, peaceful, and relaxing music. Will you be having buy me a coffee function? I tried. We had it on the other one, and set up the account. Got a few people buy the $5 coffees or whatever, that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden I get a thing saying you've been suspended. And there's no appeal button, nothing. Saying that somebody used a stolen credit card to buy us a coffee, essentially. How is this my fault? If somebody uses a stolen card, like it seems weird, and I know they might be thinking it's a way to money launder or something, but I had nothing to do with that. I don't know that person did it or anything. And I've talked to that person. They're like, that's ridiculous. I wasn't using a stolen credit card. But anyway, they canceled it. So they blocked me, and it's Square. So that's like Square's pretty crazy on that kind of stuff, apparently. Anyway, I can't open a new one. I can't do anything because you have to put your tax ID and everything in. It's not like you can just make a new one. So yeah, I haven't been able to have the buy you a coffee sort of thing because of that. Master Boss says, Michael, please find a Filipino wife before your year is over. Find a goddess in BGC. There you go. I don't know. I've been to BGC, but I think with the cities, you're getting the same sort of thing as the West, where women are more career minded. They're not looking to settle down their ideas and stuff like that. And when they're ready to settle down, they leave the city. I feel like, could be wrong. And so you're kind of like the same as the West sort of stuff in my mind. Let's see. Hey, John. Thank you very much, John. Donation for the Safer Shoe Fund. Yeah, thank you. Can't trust flip-flops. 100%. The crazy part is I thought of it. Why didn't I wear running shoes on the bus? I would have worn them any other time, but I was like, nah, I'll just pack my shoes and I'll wear the flip-flops. Obviously, stupid move. And now I can't wear running shoes. I tried day before yesterday, even with the antibiotics and everything. What antibiotics did is brought down the swelling. Well, the swelling was providing a cushion on my toe so that I didn't feel anything when I walk on it. And now that they brought the swelling down, now everything is much more closer to the skin, I guess. And so I put the shoes on. It's so tight. The shoes barely fit me as it is here, like the ones I ended up getting. It's not like I had a lot of room or anything like that. And so one step, and I was like, oh, hell no, back to the flip-flops. So, yeah, I can't wait. Till we get through that. Growing Cheetah, yeah, I know you should just have people donate through PayPal. I notice, as you all know, there are so many people out there who absolutely, they call this e-begging. And I'm like, wow, I'm providing entertainment. This is not begging. Begging is when people ask for money for nothing. They just come up to you, hey, give me money, right? I need to eat or whatever. Give me money. But you see a person outside playing the guitar and they have their thing and they're singing and people give them tips. Nobody's going, how dare they beg? No, you're saying, thank God, at least they're doing something for their money. You're not just expecting money for nothing. Buskers, that kind of thing, right? Entertainers. Anyway, this is a form of entertainment. Somebody's calling me. And I have my thing only on if you can only break my do not disturb if you call me. So I don't know who that is, though. Don't know. Number's not saved. But sorry about that, guys. Anyway, so so there's this. Oh, clearly, it's important. Sorry. 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. I got to mute this. Hello? Hello? Hi. What's up? Sorry, I don't understand you. Can you text me? Oh, delivery. Okay, yeah, I'm home. Can I text you the address? Okay, I'll text you. Thank you. I think it's a delivery, a like buy-in box. Oh, I didn't even mute that. Sorry. I thought I muted it and I turned down the wrong volume. Anyway, you all heard that. So I'm just going to send him my address. I think it's Bianca's mother sent a buy-in box like 3 months ago. And I believe it's finally here. And so, yeah, sorry about this, guys. Like I said, nothing breaks through unless they have my phone number, and that's so rare. I just don't give out my phone number for that reason. And there we go. Copy that. Sorry. It's not what I expected to do. Message this. All right, that's gone. Hopefully it'll be okay. Sorry about so yeah, you all got to watch that. Could not understand them for the life of me though. It's my fault, not theirs. All right, so where are we at? Okay. Yeah, I know you didn't mute it. I know. I meant to. What am I gonna do? I'm just not used to somebody calling me. I'm like, why are you bothering me? If your audience is from the United States, do you get a higher rate? Yes, 100%. You could not survive with the same amount of views I have. You cannot probably make enough income off of YouTube. Just can't. A lot of Filipino vloggers struggle with that, or content creators, that kind of thing, is that they are not reaching any audience. Maybe some OFWs, but for the most part, they're reaching only Philippines audience. It's just advertising and marketing of the area, right? So, where is my thing? Weird. Anyway, so what it is we have a rate, right? So if you want to advertise in the Philippines, it's 90 cents per 10,000 people to be put into their feed. And if you want to advertise to the United States, it's $12. So it's 15 times more to advertise to an American, for example. So if you want to be a popular Philippines vlogger that speaks Tagalog, or just reaching that audience, so when people say, oh, these people are just Pinoy baiting, or that kind of thing, well, that's a silly concept, because why would you do that? Because now you're just going to get audience only in the Philippines, and because you're trying to play on something, right? But now you need 150,000 views to do the same as my 15,000 views. See what I mean? Financially. It just doesn't make, the incentives aren't there. The incentives would be to just, reach as much of the world audience as possible. Canada pays relatively okay. United Kingdom pays relatively good. Australia pays relatively good. That kind of thing. It's just based on what advertisers are competing for the exact same ad spot anywhere in online. So that's all. So yep, it definitely does matter where your viewers do come from. I did Rune Bell says I did a condo. because of being new to the Philippines. After we got out of that, after the lease was over, we moved into a townhouse that was $3,000 cheaper. Yeah, the townhouse, obviously, you'll deal with mosquitoes. You'll deal with, like, there's things, right? But I don't mind these things. I like the freedom of having the movement, right? Like, I pay $28,000 a month here. That's less than a furnished studio right now in Iloilo. So, or even when I was looking, that's what people wanted. They wanted $30,000 for a studio condo. Yes, I don't have a pool to go to. I don't have a gym to go to. I can't walk to all of the restaurants and bars and everything else like that. I get why people pay $30,000. It's just, for me, my priority is where I like this. I like all of this space. I like that I can sit outside here and not a tiny little balcony here. I can sit right here. I'm totally private. Do whatever I want. I have, more than one bathroom. Bathroom here, bathroom there. We have 3 bathrooms. We have 3 bedrooms, which was worked good when we were, a married couple. Was that she was doing at the time streaming on Twitch, so she would be doing many hours a day streaming on Twitch. So she had a streaming room. Great, private. She can talk and scream and do whatever. And then the other one I had for me to do editing and everything else, and then a bedroom. So it's really cool that I could do that. But honestly, it is a lot of space. I get it. It's a lot of space for people. But it's not like they make houses that have no living room, no dining room, that kind of thing. Just a little kitchen and 3 bedrooms. I would have taken that too. I don't need that much space in a backyard. I would have taken that too, but nobody builds houses that way, of course. They have living rooms, they have dining rooms and all these things. So that part is kind of wasted. Not right now. Right now I'm using it. But anyway. Don't forget to like chat. Only takes a second. I can't like the chat, actually. Like I said, right, I can't even do it up on here. So Master Boss, there's nothing I can do. Oh, you're telling the chat people. Never mind. Sorry. Yes, click the like button, please. Thank you. Please. Appreciate it very, 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 very much. Have I tried trekking sandals? I haven't, John. Is that something that's available around here? Like SM and all that kind of stuff? It would be good for my foot right now because you don't have the thing between the toes, right? I think I know what you mean, the hiking type ones. And yeah. Oh, Surrey Case says, I'll take 25 square meters at the right price. Fair enough. Mang in a cell delivery? Yes, what? I didn't order recently, but Bianca did recently. So I'm looking behind me. Is there a box behind me or something? Yes, they have. There's the guy again. I'm sorry, guys. This time I'm going to actually mute it. 2 seconds. All right, we've got it solved. He was still looking for me at my old address in Mandariao. So whoever sent this, you have the wrong address. I haven't lived there in over a year. Interesting. I don't know. I don't know what it is now. Now I'm confused because it's probably not her Violet Bryan box. I'm pretty sure her mother knows. Sonia. Sonia, thank you very much. Montemeyer. Well, yeah, I want to make sure I was saying it correctly, but I think I was saying it correctly. $20. Wow, that's amazing. Listen, I appreciate every single one of you, and I thank you, Sonia. That's I'm blown away, but thank you very, very, very much. I know somebody else had said, so yeah, Mang, you can get anything you want delivered here. Actually, I didn't realize that's not everywhere. So a friend of mine, Bob, one of our subscribers, longtime member here, he had said the same thing. He's like, well, wait a minute. Are you telling me you guys have delivery at like 2 a.m. or whatever here on Grab? And I was like, yeah. And I noticed that in other places, there's no delivery after like 11 or midnight, that kind of thing. But yeah, here there are some things that you can still order no matter what time of day or night on Grab or Food Panda. Same difference. All right, let's see. Yeah, great job not doxing your personal information. Got to be given. Yeah, Yeah. Well, apparently they have an entirely wrong address too. So I'm not even doxing myself. Apparently, uh, that's like a 1980s photo. It's huge. I'm so confused. This is what happens when I do a vid on or two on expat day traders. Yeah, I know. Everybody, once they saw the tour of Mark's house, and they were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa!" Like, I want to, like, let's hear about him. What's he do? That kind of thing. He's very, very much Bitcoin guy. Just to be very clear, very, very clear. And I don't even. I got to look at the rules on YouTube nowadays because I know that could get you demonetized if you talked about Bitcoin, if you talked about a lot of different things. And I don't know if Bitcoin's now that all the big banks are trading it. I believe you're allowed to talk about it again. So I don't know. I don't know. That's the crazy part about this world nowadays. You have to be careful what you talk about because it might be okay, or it might not be okay. I don't know what the current rule is. Will I start dating a local woman? Keep in mind, I don't know. Like, if you've ever been in like long-term relationships, have married like this, you're also still living. Like, you can imagine trying to date a girl and they're like, "Yeah, I still live with my ex-wife." Not cool. Not cool. You're technically, I'm going to be married for another 11 months or whatever it is, until we can actually officially get divorced. In the West, you don't even think about it. You're separated. Good. Nobody has any problem with it for the most part. I also don't want to be somebody. I don't want to be a rebound to somebody. That would be horrible to them. I feel like shit. I just don't want to be an asshole like that. I don't know. It's just like a bunch of things. Plus, you'll just be ready when you're ready. You meet somebody or whatever, then it just happens. But to be honest, just not. I'm just gonna figure out my life still. I got to figure out my own life. I don't even know what my future is at this point, where I'm gonna go and what I'm gonna do, and you know, I got a lot of stuff on my own plate right now, and everything's fresh. I don't know how to say it any other way. So of course, eventually. Okay, my mic is too close. All right, how's that? Hopefully that's better. Let me know when you're coming to the union. 100% Michael. I was going to message you for sure because, like I said, spare bedroom, brother. Spare bedroom. I don't know if you have one. I'm just being silly about it. Let's see. There's so many comments, so I don't want to try to miss out. Are you using the same TikTok channel? Yes. I have all that Philippines Life channels now, including the Instagram finally. I never had the Instagram before, but I have it now. Meet Richard from the Armstrong family. Yes, I know. That's another fantastic person that I watched him build that house. I didn't get time to keep watching after when I get very busy. It's very difficult to stay in a thing. Oh, I wanted to talk about this. Okay, so the new channel. I had the old That Philippines Life. I had that channel since Canada. So the feed was, videos I watched through pandemic and everything else, but, it wasn't all 100% Philippines, that kind of thing. Obviously, I was in Canada, had different interests, different things, different people I followed. And so my feed was never, and so when people say, oh, there's too many vloggers in the Philippines and it's just crazy and all that stuff, I was like, no, it's not that much. There's 120 million people here. You don't understand. Like, that's really not, it's just YouTube spitting out two things to you. Okay. Well, the new channel, where do I say sorry? Because the new channel is clearly only Philippines, right? And people send me links like, hey, you should collab with this person or that kind of thing. And so I click it a lot of the times just to see what you're talking about or whatever. And I don't know. My feed, hundreds of YouTube vloggers here in the Philippines. Like people that are new, that's all they recommend to me. And now I see it. Now I see what some of you probably see in your feed too. There is so many. Man, I'm lucky. We got a Texas Filipino, but he's all the way out in Tigbawan, so it's Iloilo, but it's not Iloilo City. Then I've got our friend Stephen and Bea there. They have Philippines in full effect, but they don't upload very often, maybe one a month or once every 6 weeks sometimes. And Tito Mark, which haven't seen him upload in a very long time, but he has a online, like he works for a BPO here or something. Yeah, BPO. So he just does it for fun every once in a while. But other than that, it's just not any other full-time vloggers here that are Filipino, or sorry, that are foreigner. So I have it lucky. Like I literally live in a bubble over here in Iloilo City where I go around and it's like, well, Bianca and I, right? We're the only foreigner vloggers here. And so we had it good. But now that I see in my feed here, there are hundreds, maybe thousands. I don't know. It's just so crazy to see how many vloggers there are in the Philippines doing the same Jollibee tour, doing the same Mall of Asia. I get it now. I get it. I just didn't see it before. My other feed didn't show me that much. I would say, yeah, there's a few, like, the bigger names or whatever. But wow. So wherever the apology department is, please accept my apology. I did not realize how crazy it is. There is tons of them. Now, and again, it still could be YouTube just giving you an algorithm of, hey, you were interested in this and you seem to be watching a lot of this. That's all I'm going to give you. And if you did the exact same thing in Disney stuff and in Orlando, there probably is 1,000 people just doing Disney, right? Like maybe. So you never know. All right, let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of crypto influencers on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, so you're probably right. Again, if you're not searching these things, it wouldn't be. But yeah, all the Bitcoin ETFs took off and everything. I know. So there's all these. It's official now. The SEC's approved it. So YouTube should be okay no matter what. Let's see. Sonic Boom, tell us your story. Did someone get a haircut? I got this haircut like Monday, Tuesday. It's been like 4 or 5 days now. So it's been a long time. Do you wear screen regularly? No, I'm terrible at that. I've burned once, and that's when it was on a motorbike when I was going from Catacline all the way down, and I burned one time. My skin is like Italian type skin, so it will get darker but not burn. Doesn't excuse me. I'm supposed to wear sunscreen. I know. It ages your skin, all the things that you're supposed to wear sunscreen. Leave it at that, but no. All right. Michael says we have extra room. Fantastic. From California. Sonia from California. Thank you very much, Sonia. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah. So Clay, I did talk about it just earlier about the Buy Me a Coffee. I did have it set up, and unfortunately, somebody used the stolen credit card to buy me a coffee, I guess, or something like that. That's what they claimed, and therefore they said I must be money laundering, and therefore they suspended me with no appeal. So I can't get a new account. Nothing. It sucks. We did talk about it a bit earlier. That's So Interesting channel. This was That So Interesting channel. It got renamed That Philippines Life, but there's like forever and ever you will be able to search the other channel or That Philippines Life and still get the other channel. There's nothing I can do about it. There's 1,000 videos of That Philippines Life on that other channel. So I was able to get the name here, but the search algorithm will continue to put you over there quite a bit. So it's just something I have to do. Give your toe time to heal. There's no way around about it. Terista. Yes, I know it's true. No closed shoes. Just got to let it heal. I don't walk as much anymore. I love to walk. And I usually walk long distances. And obviously, I can't do that right now. So for now, I'm just like giving it its time, its break. I had this whole plan. Like I was like, okay, I'm going to start doing regular, like 200-300 push-ups a day, doing different intervals, like 50 now, 50, 50, 50. As you set up all that. You can't do that with a toe like this. I could, I guess. I just stack one foot behind the other or something like that. But yeah, it's been too long for me. I just falling out of shape. Be my new goal in life here to just fix myself. Most vlogs are not worth time to watch. Yeah, I think I was there once too, though. So I hate to be horribly negative about anything. I'm like that. You'll probably already noticed that. You guys will be always saying like, you're always so positive about everything. And it's my personality. Like, I try to find the good in things and appreciate the things. And there's plenty of people that'll just complain about everything. And I'm like the optimist, eternal optimist. Anyway, so starting with channel can be, but if they put out 1,000 videos, or not even 1,000, I've seen some people that they put out 150 videos and they're not getting better. And so they're getting very few views because, but you're just not improving. You have to try things out and get better at it and everything else. That's important if you want to grow anything. It's like putting a business on a dead corner and doing no marketing and then wondering why there's no sales after a year being operating. You obviously have to change something up. You can't just keep doing that over and over again. It's not just going to happen. You have to, come up with a solution. So sometimes some vlogs just don't fix it. So you should really ask that Bitcoin guy financial advice. I bet he makes a ton of money from crypto now. Yeah, well, he is a very smart guy. I know Mark very well. He'll be in the vlog very soon because he then again, we just hung out 2 nights ago. Or last night? Friday night. Yeah, Friday night. We were just hanging out. So he's opening a massive Gold's Gym right here in Festivalk, right? Like, he's investing a ton of money. He has this beautiful house in Palawan, and then he's got his house here now that he's renting for now until he builds his own here in Iloilo in Puerto Real, which is beautiful. If you haven't seen that video, it's at 80,000 peso per month. He got it for, they wanted 100. Gorgeous house that he got. And, but yeah, he's very successful and he is really good. Really good. Really good. Let me see here. Hey, Mike, what do you and other experts use for health insurance? Well, Paul, guess what? Michael Onstad is right here in the chat. You got to talk to Michael Onstad. He is from Canada. He was a broker, I believe, for 40 years in Canada and married a Filipina, came to the Philippines. Then he got his broker license here, and he continues to be a health insurance broker. But he's from Canada, so he understands, and he does not pull any punches. So he'll tell you, no, that won't be covered. He won't lie to you just to get something covered. Or like to get you to sign up and then later on go, oh, well, should have read the fine print, that kind of thing. No, Michael's really cool. And he'll go to bat for you every single time. He does all the time. He actually cares. He has staff that answers the phones, everything. And he offers Pacific Cross, pretty much is his only one. And Pacific Cross has plans that have no deductible. Like mine was a peso plan, no deductible, one flat rate. You just pay that every year. And that's it. If you have an emergency, you go into the hospital, nobody asks for a credit card. Nobody's asked for anything. You just hand them your Pacific Cross thing, and it's all taken care of. They bill direct. So Michael Onstad, check him out on Facebook, that kind of thing. There was videos on the other channel of him. So we'll have to do one here, Michael, eventually. But he is also right here in the chat. You'll see he's got himself a little blue star beside his name for being a member. Fantastic guy. He's been on 2 or 3 times. I've interviewed him over the last 2 years. That's how we actually met, and now he's a member. Like, how cool is that? If you ever film in Cebu, we can host you. You don't have to worry about slow internet. Thank you, Rune Bell. Thank you very much. That was my problem when I was in Cebu IT Park, and I was like, it's IT Park, guys. Why is there no fiber optic cable? Well, pandemic, all this stuff. It was supposed to happen and never did. And I'm like, well, don't call yourself IT Park until you at least have fiber. Anyway. Internet was a bad thing, but they also had a typhoon 9 months prior when I was there. And I spent 16 days. And my cell phone signal was terrible. And they're like, well, yeah, a lot of cell towers got ruined by that typhoon. And like even the SM malls had shattered windows still 9 months later because there's just not enough glass and glass providers, installers, that kind of thing to help everyone at the same time. And it was, I believe, one of the largest typhoons they've ever had. So, yeah. It was still rebuilding. I should give it credit for that because it doesn't mean it's always like that. But cell phone signal and data, internet, that kind of thing was really bad for me. And I just remember the traffic. For me, I was like, I want to be able to drive 15, 20 minutes, half an hour even, out of a city and be in the province. You can't do that in Cebu. Sorry. You really, really can't. Yeah, but it has all the advantages. I don't want to make it clear. Like, if you are a city person, you will like Cebu a lot. And you may even like it better than Manila and that kind of thing because they have pretty much everything. But it's at least, it's less of everything. And it's got a lot more newer stuff in overall, where Manila has been around much longer in that size, right? Being a capital. And so there's a lot of the infrastructure is very aging in areas. Doesn't mean Eastwood, BGC, Rockwell, Ayala Corporation, all those areas, yeah, clearly top of the line, everything, infrastructure, the works. But overall, I do like Cebu. It's just that traffic. Oof. Traffic is bad in Davao, at least where I was there. Oh, because that is another place. So if you probably didn't see it, not everybody was into that, but I went to this Boy Scout jamboree, right, with 35,000 Boy Scouts, and it was just 2 hours from here, and it was really cool. I got to meet so many people, and when I went to the Davao camp, they call it or whatever, like where they set up, the camp is full of like not just the counselors, but like representing that area. So we actually had one of the executive board members or something like that, some government official. And we were chatting, and he's like, here's my business card. When you come to Davao, let us know. We'll set you up. Make sure you guys, you know where all the top places are to go, tourism, that, they would help me. And that can be a huge help because they will arrange like just to drive around. Rojas City did that for me, and it was fantastic. And it's not like they were on camera, like, giving me instructions or telling you guys everything. No. I still got to do my own thing. It's just I have a tourism people in a van, and they just take me to that waterfall, or they take me to this, and they take me to that. It makes my life a heck of a lot easier, especially when you're on a budget. So I do plan to go to Davao and see how much help they can give me out there. That would be really helpful because I won't know anything, and exploring is fun, but exploring with some people that can be like, well, do you want to see this? Yes, I didn't know you had any of that. It would be helpful. Why do expats prefer Dumaguete over other places in the Philippines? Willow, well, I think my video really explained a lot, to be honest. My videos, I did a few there. And it's I'm trying to think of how I would describe it. So like when I was in Florida and some of the beach areas, right? I'm trying to think of all the names at Fort Myer, those kind of places. Well, Fort Myer is great because they have all the Eat Your House can have part, that canal system, right? Where you have like literal whales coming in there, not whales, the smaller ones, the seals and stuff like that. You have a boat and everything. It's just like a cool place to live where you can sit there, the water's right there, have coffee, chit chat. Like if you're just retiring, you don't want to be bored, right? Like that's the most important thing when you're retiring. You want to have something to do. If you don't have anything to do, you'll die. And so when you go there, you can go at 7:00 in the morning, go and have coffee, and people will be coming in and out. You're going to eventually meet them, and you'll make friends, and you'll sit there and have coffee buddies and that kind of thing. And then even all afternoon, you could do that all day, night, whatever. It's not a big party town. I got that pretty quick. There's just that one club thing or whatever. And people said, oh, you have to go at midnight or whatever. I went for walks at 2 in the morning, even 1 in the morning, that kind of thing. Yeah, there's some people that go in there, but not very many. For the most part, I think people were right. People love being up at 7:00 in the morning. And by the 7 p.m., they go back home. And, wherever their home is, and that's the time that they spend at home. So anyway, I did really appreciate that. And the fact that you can live so close to the mountains where it's so much cooler up there and have a nice, beautiful house overlooking the sea and the city and that kind of thing, or go down the coast and everything. So I got it. It did seem like a good place for just retirement, to give you some things to do, some people to talk to and chat with that have common interests and stuff like that. It just seemed like a good spot for that. Again, I'm obviously only going based on what the short amount of time, 5-6 days total, spending around there. That's how I feel. It's been really wonderful. Let's see. Just returned from BGC. Yeah, so BGC, I had no problem with internet, fiber internet, all that stuff. Yeah, that's a pre-planned mega city, and I expected that from Cebu. I think that was the problem. But yeah, BGC, Eastwood, and all those places. And I get why people like BGC. If you work here, you would definitely be very convenient for you. If you are younger, hipper, looking for nightclub scenes and the party life, could totally see that. If you, like I already said, the jobs are career-minded, that kind of thing. If you are independently wealthy retired, all right, not a pension, but you have really good money, I would highly recommend you go, and you're not looking for beach life and that kind of thing, but you just want life to be simple and easy. Everything you need is in BGC. Everything, like restaurants and bars and every kind you can imagine, every place you can imagine. They have culture and they have all kinds of stuff there. I get why people would want to live there. Everything is so easy, but it's not cheap. It's not cheap. You should not have a set budget. You'll probably be disappointed. You won't be able to do all of the things you want to do, that, or at least all that's available there. So, yeah, I think I'm just skewed in my brain because I lived the city life. I lived in the 44th floor or 50th floor in another place, that kind of condos in a city where you can walk to everything. It's just a concrete jungle, as they call it, right? Yeah, everything's available and everything. And I was like, I didn't move all the way to the Philippines to spend my time in a concrete jungle. That's all. Other people totally might love that, and I get and respect that 100%. But to me, I'm like, give me tropical, give me a beach, give me even a mountain with a river, and I can see everything for miles. Like, that sounds amazing. But then I also want to get close to a city so I can still have the conveniences, because I was brought up in the West, obviously, and I'm just kind of used to a lot of things. And being a vlogger, you need cameras all the time. You need memory cards that are high end, like the fast ones, that kind of thing. You wouldn't believe how hard it is to get in some of these areas. Really, really difficult to get anything of that higher level kind of thing right there. Who do you spend personal time with? Who is your mentor? I have several. Surround yourself with successful people if you want to be successful, right? I try to surround myself with many, many, many people here that often appear in my vlogs, by the way. And they all have their own thing. Like, somebody's very successful, spent a whole career in construction and that kind of thing. Just listening to their stories, just hearing from them, learning from them is fantastic. I have another one who does like accounting and stuff like that. And so he's very successful. And another one's many entrepreneurs, by the way, really fantastic entrepreneurs. So, yeah, I couldn't name one, to be honest. There's too many. And even Filipinos here, like those have been successful, built up many businesses here in the Philippines and everything. I pick their brains like crazy. And you surround yourself with successful people if you want to be successful. Thank you very much, SA Flip 969 for the $2. Thank you. Would you consider visiting the mountains and camp? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I would totally be down for that. If it's not 100 degrees at night, I would totally be. Alex was mentioning that he was climbing up to the mountains to go see like the crater from the old volcano and that kind of thing. That sounds super intriguing to me, and very enjoyable. I have only done glamping here, to be honest. I have no fears. Mosquitoes don't like me, so I don't get bit. So that's not even a problem. Yeah, completely. I mean, back in Canada, very few of you that knew us from way back, yeah, we have Crown land there, and you can just drive up, pull off the side of the road, and you're allowed to camp up to 30 days in one location. You just have to move every 30 days if you wanted. And so we have all these areas you can just go in the wilderness. And I bring my tent, and I bring a bunch of other stuff, and I just hike up, find a waterfall, and set up a tent and just camp. And so I spent my life kind of doing that, every few years at least, going out and just to the wilderness and just camp that way. And then other times it would be more of like a campground. Michael Harn, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And let's see. Oh, Sonia, my sister lives in Fort Myers. There you go. I dated a girl in Fort Myers. So long distance. It was many years ago, but it was interesting. Let's see. What's the real reason you two are separated? Oh, she didn't become a lesbian. Listen. We are from the West, so, liberally that way. We're not liberals, but I'm not being political by this. When I say it, I just mean like, dude, whatever makes you happy doesn't affect my life. Why would I care? Go, be happy. Good, fantastic, good for you. So we actually we don't judge people or anything. I don't care. Anyway, so, but yeah, no, come on. There's nothing. Been very, very clear. Like, my video, I I can't say any more than what my video is. That's the best way to put it. Go hang out in El Nido. Yes, so very soon. Months. Next few months. Let's just say that. Next few months, I will go to Palawan. We have Coron and we have Puerto Princesa, where I have people on both ends that are more than happy to show me around. And I believe in El Nido is just a boat ride away from there or something like that. So am I vlogging at Dinigyan? Yep, already started, and I will be tomorrow, or today, sorry, right after this. I'll be heading out and spending today's the closing ceremony, so I'm going to be filming that as well. I've never seen the local neighborhoods in Palawan on video, only usual attractions. Oh, yeah, see, well, I'll be able to see that because Stephen and Bea, they've invited me to go down there they're from Puerto Princesa. And so they, for example, they lived there for a long time. They had businesses and everything in all the malls, stuff like that. And then that's how they ended up in Iloilo also. They had businesses here. And so they keep offering to show me around, which is great. Wouldn't be just the normal tourist things. And then also Mark and City, which they lived in and still have a place in Coron. Same thing. They said they go back every once in a while too. So, Mike, tired of snowstorms? Yes, I am. No more cold for me. Who does your laundry? You can't see it right now. My laundry's hanging out there. I do laundry. See, that's that laundry thing right there. Right there's the barbecue, but that's the laundry thing right there that was given by our friend April, who used to have a spa, and they cleaned the towels, and it was just sitting in her garage. And she's like, "Do you want this? It doesn't do much, but I'm very happy for it. You just hook the hose to it, fill up the water, and it just does the gyrating for you. And then after that, you just drain it and wring it out by hand and hang it up." Back in Mandiriao, we had, I did the laundry at Mandiriao, but in Boracay, we had somebody paid 500 pesos a week. We just bring all our clothes to the door every Saturday, and she'd take it away and wash it and hang it to dry and everything, fold it, put it all back. And we also had somebody cleaning our house back then. In Mandiriao, we had somebody to clean the house every week. But here, in this neighborhood, there's nobody available. Sorry. All right, sorry about that. Hope I got it in time. What is the best dentist in the Philippines? I'd love to know that answer. We went last year, right, in Manila. Went to many different places, thinking at the time it was because we were still living on. We didn't make enough money. Not last year, then, year before that. We didn't make enough money on anyway, but we were earning income. Not enough to live on or anything. So we're just using our credit card at first. And I was like, screw it. I'm going down. I got to get these crowns fixed right at the top here. So you'll never see me smile right now. And oh my God, the prices were outrageous. Outrageous. We were considering going to Thailand or Turkey or what was the other one in Bethlehem in Israel. We had a friend there that has a dental place there, and he was like a third or a fourth the price. So we've learned really quick that, and we found it from other expats, they all go to Thailand. They don't pay for dental work here. If you just want a cleaning, cheap, 500 pesos, 1,000 pesos, something like that, really cheap. But anything else, no, because they have to import crowns. They have to import, and when you're doing with that kind of stuff, the prices go. So unfortunately, that part of that never got done, and so I don't have a good answer for you, unfortunately. But my friends here, they can give you, if you actually wanted somebody in Iloilo, you could message me, and they have people that they use, but they are spending a lot of money. Do you miss your family? Sometimes. I chat with my mother, maybe once every month, 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, something like that. But she's in Panama, so she moved out of Canada as well. Good morning, Eva. Good morning, Ian. Jordan. Mobile seems like a cool spot. Yeah, I was going to go back there because it is party central there. Like, that was really cool. Really beautiful area, that kind of thing. Wouldn't live there. Just too far from a city for me. But like live there as me, right? Like you could. You're in that whole retirement phase sort of thing. You might enjoy that, but I think you would grow old that scene. So, but for other people, maybe differently. I have a fly, right? Won't leave me alone for a second. Let's see. Willow, thank you very much. I'm rooting for you all the way. Thank you very much. Oh, MF. I sent $10,000 to a Filipina and now she's blocked me. What should I do? It's gone. She may not have been a Filipina. I hope you actually video chatted with her. Yeah. There has been, we had a big bust here in Haro. It was 18 Chinese nationals, something like that. They were busted. There was a lot more to it than that, but part of it was they were running scams on dating websites and against foreign men to get them to send money. And it was a whole operation. And they were using girls in there to run the operation as well. Anyway, so the police did a major crackdown here, and like I said, 18 of them gone to prison from that, or at least were charged anyway from that. And yeah, there's apparently more to it than that, but the news article doesn't it just says and more. But yeah, are you considering learning Tagalog? Yes, if I live in a Tagalog speaking area, I will eventually. So right now, there's no Tagalog here. Here is Ilonggo. Go up a little bit at Hiligaynon, very close to Ilonggo, or Ilonggo is like a version of it, so it's a little sweeter, as they say. You go a little bit of the other way at Cagayan, something like that, just over here in like Gimbel and on. Over there, Aclanian, or Aclanian, I'm going to say it wrong. So it kind of depends where you are, right? What's the other one? Cebuanan? Yeah. So there's so many different languages here. And so I was like, okay, if you get a very specific area, and I'm like, that's it. Meet some person and settle down, that kind of thing. Time to learn whatever language that is. Whatever language that is. So yeah, we'll get around to that. Hey, you know what? Michael Harn, there you go. He's saying contact Rafi Tulo. Is that right? Tolfo? So yeah, he a politician guy, I believe, right? And he either that or he's the reporter guy. Either way, I've heard it lots of times before where they will go and try to expose them, and they expose them, and it becomes a big thing and everything. So it is possible, but you would need a lot of information on that person that's real, if you actually know what the person, like if you met that person, that kind of thing. What does an orphanage look like in the Philippines? I don't see them. I've never. Well, we actually no, I shouldn't say that. In Molo, we saw it, but it's been closed since the pandemic, so there's nobody in there. I'm gonna say it's rare here because families are so huge, right? Like there's 64 or 70 people that are all part of a family, like aunts, uncles, like 16 children. Then they have 9 children each, and then another generation has 15 children. So the families are enormous. So my understanding is like then just another family member takes the child if that situation happens, or if some bad situation happens, or anything like that. More so than if you go to some other countries where they're not monstrous families like that, where there's somebody to take them on. Could be completely wrong about this. There could be one in every corner, and they just lock them inside. I don't know, but I haven't seen a lot of orphanages, especially open, like with kids in them. I've seen none. Yeah, pretty sure. We just seen that one in Haro, but they said it hadn't been open since the pandemic. So they might be behind closed doors, run by the Catholic Church for all I know. I don't know. So maybe somebody in the comments knows more about that than me. Let's see. Rafi has a YouTube channel, helps people, and I think big on Facebook, huge on Facebook, I believe. So maybe I'm wrong. It's not the politician. There's another politician person that, like, when people have problems, they go to him, and he really champions them. You guys could tell me. Would you go back to Canada for a vacation? Yeah, maybe. It's a 30-hour trip, though. There's so many places that I would like to take a vacation. And that would be like Germany or Japan, or like I'm trying to think places I've never been. So I would like to try. I haven't even been to Thailand. So there's places I would like to do. I've been to Canada, and my mother's not even in Canada anymore. So I just can't see any reason to take a vacation in Canada. Maybe after I being in the Philippines for 20 years or something like that, I'll be like, oh, I want to go back to the snow and go see how things have changed and stuff like that. That would be good. But all right, Smurf Crusher says they got a good dentist in there. So Smurf Crusher says there's somebody who's very affordable and trusted in Dumagetti that he knows of. But I have not. We went to 8 different dentists, I think it was, and all of them were at least triple the price of other places around the world. Not Canada, but like on par with what it would cost to get in the West. So I'm surprised that like Phoenix Crowns or anything like that. It was basically the same price. Do I still feel clean from the witch doctor? You look. You still look rather innocent. I know, right? Well, listen. Polite, paid the money. Why would I get a curse from it anyway, right? Like, very respectful. Yeah, no. But yeah, it was interesting experience. Let's just say that, and it wasn't a curse type of thing anyway. So no, it felt good. Let's see. Want to be careful of some comments I'm not going to say. All right, so so Bob, who gave me a place to stay in Bacolod, really nice of him, by the way. That was super kind of him. And he's teaching right now, and so he's like, I want to give you some things so you can answer online on your stream for me, and I was like, so you can watch it later. I said, okay. How has been semi-single affected your perspective on the Philippines? Hasn't changed anything yet. Like I said, it's hard to feel available when you still live under the same roof as your ex. You just, the whole thing is just like, I'm not ready anyway, whatever, like, it'll feel more real and locked out when we're out. Does that make sense? And I don't know, like, I had no problem in Canada. I was a pretty well-known photographer for a long time, that kind of thing, and I really had like model like girls throwing themselves at me for a long time. It was really really cool time in my life that way. And so I never had to have game. Does that make sense? I didn't need to. I never went like I way back. I remember going on dating websites and I just had no luck, and everybody's a scam, and everything was just like not a scam, but you show up and the person's nowhere near the person, like nothing they as described or as photographed as, and like these people aren't even happy with themselves. They expect somebody else to love them. So yeah, I never liked any of that. And so I don't know, like, I don't even know if I'd have game here, I'm just not even thinking about it for now. Let's just go for that. But hopefully when it comes time, I will have game. Let's see if I can, what do they say, pull? Maybe I can bowl, something like that. Number 2, where do you think you'll be in 2 years? So a year after your divorce. Yeah, that's a tough one because I really want to be near a beach. I really do want. It doesn't have to be on the beach, but near a beach or up in the mountains. Like, I would like to have a little farm. I would like to have, like that kind of cool, simple life sort of thing. And I think the vlogs could be still awesome from that, just to be clear. But then I also want to have a business somewhere in town. Because I love sales and marketing, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's hard to tell, but that's kind of like the direction. And Filipinos are quite conservative. Do you catch flack for divorcing with your wife? No. So most Filipinos I speak to, they all have somebody in their lives which have been separated for 20 years, something like that. There's no divorce for them, and how difficult it is, and they've already moved on, but they can't marry that person. Now there's complications. If that person passes away, they can't pass it on. Like, it nobody likes divorce, and they probably don't like that it happens, but they also are like, oh, I get it. We So let's stay away from the relationship stuff, to be honest. Number 4, I'll skip that one. Yeah, a lot of countries have digital nomad visas for content creators like yourself. Have you ever thought about visiting other destinations? Yeah, of course, of course. I want to, flying around can be expensive. Going to different places can be expensive, that kind of thing. But of course, I want to go to. I've been to Cambodia during pandemic. It's not the same, I know. Vietnam and Thailand and Bali. I just want to go and check them out. I want to go to Japan. I want to go to Korea. I want to go to Taiwan. I want to go to. I'll go to China. Like my friends that did the construction there, they said that Disney there was absolutely incredible. That the budget was enormous, Universal. But then also they said the cities, you just can't imagine how crazy modern they are and what's there. So, and this is from hearing it from Brits, telling me like you just don't until you try it, you just don't have any clue how crazy it is there. So I want to try all these places, but I'm kind of enjoying my time here in the Philippines. I'm really not going to worry too much about that, and I'll worry about that when I've got extra money laying around to fly all over the place and go on vacations essentially. Are you thinking about beach or country? So yeah, that's the same thing. Mountains with a river or a beach. Either one would make me very happy. It would just have a good feeling on your life. That soul would be nurtured. Skip the relationship ones again. Is Duma or Iloilo better for a first-time visitor? Depends your goal again. So I think I kind of covered that, but yeah, if you're going to Dumaguete, you're going to get what you saw there. You're going to get that real chill vibe, cool thing. You come to Iloilo City, it's a city, right? So yes, beautiful, clean, safe, modern, like all these things, but it's a city. So you're getting it's like comparing oranges and tractors. It's just like entirely different experience that you're going to get from here and there. And so for some people that are looking for that, come to Iloilo and they're like, yeah, I tried it for a week. I just couldn't fall in love with it. 100%, because you were looking for something entirely different. You should be trying out Dumaguete and I'm trying to think of another area like that where you could be Dumaguete and Boracay or Dumaguete and maybe even Mac 10 or something like Island or some beach life, waterfront life. Everything kind of centers around that nature sort of thing and everything, because Dumaguete's not actually that big, so you can go quickly up into Valencia and have that whole quieter life and everything else. It's just different, and here you're just not going to get a lot of girls hitting on you and stuff like that. They're just everybody's career minded and focused and going off to school in Manila or here or wherever they're going to go, but everybody is very focused, and then they get focused on their career. Most of them are married by the time 25 or whatever anyway, and then that's it. And there's not going to be a lot of divorces here or anything like that. There is no divorce technically in the Philippines, but if you have a lot of money, you can get your paperwork done in about 6-7 years. All right, so I'm going to go back to here. Thank you, Bob, for those questions. Very nice, very nice. The witch doctor thing was relaxing. It was very relaxing, and it was very but I was trying to put myself in that moment too, so that was really cool. Yeah, there you go. So Rafi is a senator. That's what it is. But yes, he also is big on social media, and he really does try to fight the good fight for people. And that's why he's loved so much. Do you recommend bringing a good pair of walking shoes? Yeah, bring. It depends on your shoe size. If you're size 10, even 11, to be honest, US 11, US 10, and down, you're fine. You can find shoes everywhere. You can find all the same brands, and like if you go to a market and it says it's 250 pesos for Nike, it's probably not Nike. But if you go to the SM store and it's $75 for a pair of Nikes, they're Nikes. It's the SM store. Yes, it's a real brand. So yes, you can get everything. It's just size 11 and a half, to be honest, and up. You're going to have a difficulty. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It does. And if you're leaving Manila, you're going to have a lot better time, obviously. But, you're just not going to have it the same. And if you're tall, like me, 6'4", shirts, length, and stuff like that. The good thing about being in Asia, though, so an extra large doesn't mean extra large. It means extra large, longer, which is fantastic. Where if I got extra large in the West, it means it's 4 times sizes too big, but that was the only way to get my shirt length and stuff like that. But for me, it's sleeve length, right? I have the hard time getting a shirt to go all the way up to here. They're still like here, and I have to roll up every sleeve because I just can't get, if I have a formal function or something like that, it's very hard for me to get that. We drove by Duterte's house, but he wasn't there. Yeah, there's a lot going on right now with you can just Google that. I'm not going to get involved in the politic news and stuff like that, but let's see. Yes, everybody hit that like button. Thank you very much, OPSEC. Appreciate you mentioning that. So hot, humid, and no zits must be the clean living. Oh yeah, you sweat all the time here. You know, I am. Somebody asked, "What's your age?" I'm 48. I used to have horrible acne until I was like 30, and then it started to go away. 32, 33, and I'll get one zit or whatever, that kind of thing. But it's true. The stress in Canada, the cold, the heat, then the cold, the heat. We got a lot of humidity in Canada too. But I don't know. Stress is like kind of the worst thing. And also pollution. Like we have factories everywhere in Canada. There's not a factory as far as I know. I don't even know if we have a factory somewhere. Maybe we do. That smog life is not a thing here in Iloilo. There's just nothing that can cause it. Yes, we have a coal fire plant, but my understanding is the wind always blows it the other way. But that's it. Like in the whole city, there's really not a lot. Yes, jeepneys, but they're being replaced with those buses. You get some. I wouldn't ride behind one of them for an hour. Your face will be black. But overall, my skies are absolutely gorgeous if I'm looking outside right now. So yeah, clean living and everything. But if you're sweating constantly, it's good. A, it's good for your heart. And B, yes, my pores are constantly being cleaned. Not bad. Am I entitled to pension? Yeah, when I'm 65. I worked so I started part-time working when I was like 13, 14. And then I full-time worked at 16. I never finished high school. I started working immediately. And then I just used experience to get me into corporate jobs and stuff like that, which was not easy because HR was like, how do I do this? He doesn't have a college degree. How do I do this? He didn't even have high school. And they would just find a way. And then other jobs would be like, oh, we're going to hire him. He's the vice president of this company. And then they put me over there. And they're like, wait a minute, you don't even have high school? No high school. Some with no degree. Anyway, so they, I don't even know how I got down this whole path here, but yeah, I did work. Yeah, that's what it was, pension. So I did work and pay into it. So from like 16 years old until I was, when I quit and left to come here, which is like 4 years ago. So I was 44, 45. Yeah. So I had almost 30 years of paying into it. And so I'll get that because Canada changed from a flat amount to based on how much you pay into it sort of thing. So when I turn 65, I will have that. And when I turn 70 in Canada, as a Canadian, you don't have to live in Canada. You get an old age pension too, I believe. Something like that. We'll see. By the time I'm that age, who knows if it'll exist? Nobody really knows. Annulment, that's what it is. If you want separation. Yeah, but we got married in Canada, so that's why and you can actually do it online. Isn't that insane? You can get a divorce online as long as you don't have kids. I see your subscription is growing 1,000 a week. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, Clay, it's not so much that I'm a star or anything. Of course I'm not. But the other channel we had 133,000 or 132,000. I think it's 135 now for Bianca. But so it's just people going, oh, I thought I was subscribed to that because the videos show up in their feed. And then they realize, oh, I'm not even subscribed, and they're subscribing. So yeah, I did have it easier than other people when I literally started December 1 on this channel. And I don't know, 17,000 now. I'm just very lucky that way that I had already had that channel built up and put out 900 videos before that, or 800. Let's see. Hey, okay. Trader X is asking about where is the best place in your opinion to find the best looking women? Okay, are you ready for this? I would tell you. So it depends. Like if you're saying best looking women, if you go to Angeles City, there may be some best looking women, but you're gonna have to pay. Does that make sense? So let's say no to that. Okay, let's say no. No, you're not hiring somebody. That's ridiculous. You're looking for a wife. You're looking for somebody. In province is towns like Banate, Miagao, like I'm trying to think, like so many of these smaller towns all the way through. Here, and not that doesn't mean the smaller towns than others, and it's the exact same thing. oh my God, I swear to God, everybody's a beauty queen. And I don't mean to be offensive to anybody on this, right? Again, I don't care if you're gay or whatever. But as one beauty queen put it to me, not only do the women want the men, but the men want the men. And so there's far fewer men for the women. And yeah, so go to the province, pick a nice town, 40,000 population or something like that. For example, in Banate, they call them the Seven because there's 7 foreigners living in that whole town, and everybody knows who they are. They are the 7. So you can be one of 7, 5, whatever. They're all married, by the way, so they're not even in the market. And yeah, like literally everybody's a beauty queen. It's like crazy. And a lot of them don't have ambitions to go and have big careers and everything. They just want to get married, settle down, maybe kids, whatever. And yeah. There you go. There's your real answers. Is like every time I go to these smaller towns, I go to their fiestas and everything, and I'm just like, okay, wait, what? And then talking with people and everything, and they're like, yeah, it's crazy here. It's really crazy here. But I recently was watching one vlogger, and because his clickbait stuff, like, about like what do girls want these days, right? And he's in Cebu IT Park, and he just goes and sits down when the girls are all sitting in there. But he only seems they only ask 18 to 28s, right? I think that was pretty much the range. And he just interviews every single day, tons of videos, and he just asks them all kind of same questions. He starts with very basic ones and then works his way up to trying to get something, inappropriate out of them, sort of thing, right? And then put them on the screen saying, "Oh, I like bigger," and then he says, "Does size matter?" And then to me, that's not cool what you did to that girl, but anyway, to each their own. So it's no problem asking it, but I mean, like selling it like that is the problem. So anyway, I got to tell you, from those videos, I didn't watch them all, but zip through it quickly because he follows the same pattern. You just have to go to a certain part. It was interesting to see how many were even interested in foreigners. If they would ask, would you ever date a foreigner? The answers were resoundingly more and more no. All right. Resoundingly more and more that a girl is 22 will only date somebody 24. Absolutely not interested outside of that. If they will even date somebody as a foreigner. But even locals, they were like, I don't date guys over 24. That'd be it. So their ambitions they were saying, are age or money, that kind of thing. And so where the Philippines is known as nobody cares about here age, like as long as you're legal, obviously. Like most people don't. They really don't. They don't think second, twice, 3 times about it. But these girls were like, money. And he's like, oh, okay, so money. And they're like, no, you're misunderstanding. I can make 30 to 50,000 pesos a month when I graduate to start. And so my goal will be to make that when I can get a good job. I don't need a man. And so they're not going to need men in their life for the most part. And a man they're going to be in their life, they're not looking for anything long term or anything. Their career is going to be number one. And I heard that a lot. Very, very few said provinces. Most of them said city life, and their career is going to be first. Interesting, right? We got Team Opala. Shout out from Toronto. Hello. Should interview Armstrong family. Metaphysics is saying. Yeah, you know what? I love watching him build his first house. So 100%. Make a live with regular guy. You know, the funny thing is I was just slower putting my videos up. So he was like one day behind me the whole time. And so I'd be like gone. And that was the day he started uploading. So I was like, well, he was pretty close, but I never saw him once. I never saw a single YouTuber, to be honest. Wait, I just want to make sure I don't say anything that's incorrect. But wandering around Dumaguete, I didn't. I was like, there's over 100 of them. Where are they? I guess they don't roam around much with their cameras because they was there for a very long time. And nobody walking around with a camera. Very, very interesting. And if I did forget somebody, I'm so sorry. But I'm trying to remember, and I don't remember anybody at all. Yeah. Becoming Filipino. Yes, I have written him so many times. This is Osio Games. Before we came to the Philippines, I was writing fellow Canadian, yada, yada, yada. Can't wait to come to the Philippines. Don't even have to film it. I just love to, just talk to you so I can hear, feel out, what's like in the Philippines, what you can get some ideas, that kind of thing. And I never got an answer. It was Facebook and everything. You have to write them. And then when we got here, I tried many times, and I kept saying, like, I'm not trying to take your subscribers, nothing. You don't even have to record it. I could just meet with you and be able to talk. I think I could gain a lot. He'd been here so long. Come on. The country literally passed a law just for him to become a dual citizen. You can't be a dual citizen unless one of your parents are born here or you were born here. And he got a literal law made for him just a few months ago that Congress passed it for him. That's just for him. So he can have citizenship. He speaks 5 different languages, Filipino languages. Like, if anybody knows everything about the Philippines, it's him. But I get it, though. When you have 1 million subscribers, and never mind that, like, that's YouTube. Facebook, he's equal. And Facebook's, like, real crazy, right? Like, if you post something on there, you can get 10, 100 times your subscriber base watching you. It's just, because people can share and everything, right? And so, yeah, on here, he must get 100 messages an hour. So I get it. I do not expect any large channel to ever respond. And they almost never respond to me. Because I get it. I get a ton too. And, I wouldn't say based on this channel, but on the past channel, right? And I try to get through them all, but it is going to be I know there'll be a day where I just will be like, I can't do anything else. If I just answer everybody, I'm just not going to be able to do it. So 42 is the meaning of life. Wow. Look at that. Okay, Michael. Well, I'm past. Oh, Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy. Yeah. Cool. Why do you look so good for your age? Well, they're just being very kind, but thank you very much. I have my days. Trust me. When I'm out and I start sweating, I dehydrate in my skin. I swear to God, it like, HDRs from all the sweat being, because I'm dehydrating. I got to remember to drink a lot more water. That's the most important thing. And yeah, very, very important. So I don't always feel like I do. And I just got my hair cut, so it's like nice and short. I feel like I'm younger when I have a haircut. But yeah, nowadays I think people look younger. I don't know why, but thank you very much. Somebody's just Osher Games saying you really like my YouTube videos. Thank you very much. I know I'm not getting to all the comments. I know I get that. I'm sorry about that, guys. Bohol waits for you. I have been to Bohol. Again, it was after that 9 months after that typhoon. So not the cell phone signals were really poor on the whole island as well. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this island. And they don't have a real city yet. Like, your capital there has malls, but they don't have the malls. But I understand you're getting them. And so when I was like considering that area to live, that kind of thing, and just to take that boat all the time and everything. So I loved it as a vacation. I went and saw your little monkeys, whatever they're called again, Tazirs. I went to your chocolate hills. Less impressed with that. No offense, just hills. But it was still okay. It just wasn't amazing. Lubbock river tour, though. That was epic. I absolutely loved that. I did some of your caves and your underwater swimming and that kind of thing. Awesome. I got to stay at this place that was literally right on the ocean, and it was an Airbnb, and it was just that. I was like, oh my God, this is the dream. This is the dream. I really loved that part of it. So I did love it. But when I was keeping in the back of my head, could I live here permanently sort of thing? Not with my life, right? With retirement life, it's an entirely different thought. But yeah, some gorgeous resorts, the Bohol Bee Farm, that kind of thing. So I did enjoy a lot about it. And but for me, it just too secluded. Victoria, thank you very much. Hello from Toronto, Canada. I love watching your videos. Appreciate it. Are you a non-resident of Canada for tax? So Canada, if you leave for 6 months, 1 day, and you file a final tax return, yeah, that's it. You have the government, you don't even have health care anymore. If I went back to Canada, I have no health care, no free health care. No. If I was a landed immigrant, I would get immediate health care or refugee status. But as a Canadian, I would have to stay home for 3 full months before I'm technically there. But then I'm also required to pay. But the good thing about this whole thing here is I just keep it up in Canada because there's an interesting thing about Canada. You want to stay as a tax resident in Canada if you are somebody like me. YouTube doesn't pay huge, right? But on, say, $2,000 a month, like when we were as a couple, right? Well, that's only $24,000 a year. And as long as you don't file separately under Canadian tax law, you each get, I think it's almost 16,000 now. It's 15 for sure, per year, tax free each. So it's 30,000. So if you make $2,000 a month on YouTube, you're perfectly legally not required to pay any taxes until you reach 30,000. You actually, the government would give you money back. So yeah, until you start making a lot more money, then you might as well switch. But when you're making very little money, you're under the threshold. You're in the poverty thing based on it being a tax resident. So it's very important to stay as a tax resident there as long as you possibly can if you're making very little. Frank and Phil of the Philippines, we love Scotty Boy. Yes, fantastic. Nighthawk, there you are. Sorry for being late. Listen, Nighthawk, you've been a supporter for a very long time. You can absolutely be late anytime. Hey, and thank you very much for the donation. I don't remember what NOK is, but the 50 NOK, thank you very much. I missed the beginning of the live, just dropping in to say hello. Remember to eat, drink, or sleep and drink. Yes, thank you very much. Definitely. It's been a lot cooler this week where I've been able to just make a few videos, which you haven't seen yet. Edit a lot of videos, but then also relax, not have to stress. I've been hanged out with friends and just chilled, and not be in a rush for everything and not get up first thing in the morning for everything. So I am going to Dinigan later. Yes, right after this. I am going to be heading back downtown, enjoying some Dinigan, partying. Again, I was there Friday night also for one recently. Let's see. So this person is saying it's not true about becoming Filipino. Anybody who lives in the Philippines for 10 years is a law-abiding citizen, even if they come from the United States. Okay. Don, I think you might want to Google it because, yes, they had to make a law for him. I literally watched Congress make him a law. But I believe you can, at 10 years, become a citizen. But you have to renounce your other citizen. I was saying dual citizenship. So he will not issue a dual citizenship unless you or your parents were born in the Philippines. Since he had neither of those things, he would have to renounce his Canadian citizenship to get his Philippine citizenship after 10 years. And he didn't have to do that. They made him a law so he could be dual citizenship without the requirement of being born or parents being born in the Philippines. All right, let's see. Oh, there you go. And Don did point out that you renounce your citizenship by paying thousands of dollars in U.S. cash. Swearing in front of the yes, exactly. So yeah, he got a special law because he didn't have to renounce his Canadian citizenship, which was special for him. What do you think about the hospitals in Iloilo? Medical City, I did a whole tour of it. There's a video on Bianca's channel for that. Went through the whole place, got to meet all the people, got to see the equipment and stuff like that. It is considered the top tier hospital here. I also got to do Metro Iloilo Hospital, which is a new hospital as well, very new. And but they have the things that they do. They are top notch in. It's just Medical City was the all-encompassing hospital that has heart attacks and all that stuff, where the other one would send you to Medical City. St. Paul's, I've heard, is really terrific, too, from a friend who did have a heart attack and did go there. He said top-notch equipment and stuff like that, too, so I don't want to discount and say they're the only ones, but Medical City is the one that accepts, like, most U.S. everything. Like if you served in Gulf War or whatever, and you have not the vet one, but the other one, starts with an A, Advantage, something like that. If you have that one, they accept it all. They direct bill, all these things. And they can do that because they have locations also in Guam, and therefore they can do U.S. billing from the Guam there. Whoa. Frank and Fal of the Philippines. Like, listen. First off, I'm going to apologize, Frank, because you've been sending me wonderful offers, but I've been all over the place. Now with my foot buggered up like this, I don't want to go on ATV because I can only wear these flip-flops. But Frank and Phil in the Philippines, they live here in Iloilo, and they are doing vlogging too. And they have some really incredible toys, okay? Toys, like he showed me a video of all of his like motorcycle scooters and just ATV. They have so much fun, and I keep putting it off, and now I was going to do something with him this time, and now I got my foot like this, so you know, very soon, Frank, we'll go off and do a nice tour, ATVs, whatever. It's going to be a great time. But Frank, you guys don't know this yet, but in 2 seconds, it's going to show up on the screen. Frank just donated $100. $100. What can I say, Frank? I don't. It's never happened. It's never happened. So I don't even know what to say. So thank you, Frank. Thank you. I literally don't know what to say. All right. Thanks, Frank, and Phil. Thank you very much. Look forward to doing something soon when my foot heals. Thank you very much. Wow. All right. Let's see. Should you have? To renounce U.S. citizenship, they say it's 2,350. Yeah, there's a whole channel called Nomad something, and they tell you all the different countries in the world where you can get citizenship and that kind of thing. And it did seem like for some people it can be very difficult, and for other people it can be very easy. So it really depends. Like if you just have straight and narrow, easy stuff, yes. But if you have like assets, like you can't even. My understanding is if you're going to renounce, you can't even have like rental income properties still in the United States. You have to cut off all your ties. You don't have to cut off your pension, I don't think, or maybe you do. I can't remember. I think there's something that they really can make it extremely difficult on you. They really do not want you to escape, from that sort of thing. Where I think in other countries it might be a little easier to just renounce, right? I know it's next to impossible to not have a citizenship. You have to have somewhere. Yeah, I don't know much more than that, but it's very interesting. Very interesting. Yes, so Jammer is pointing out, yes, I interviewed Shay. She was the only vlogger in Dumageddon I ran into. Yeah. Not that they didn't comment saying, hey, would love to do something. I get it. That was 100%. It's just I was running on this like exploratory vlogging sort of thing where I didn't have like set schedules, set times. And when I do set, somebody says, okay, let's meet at 3. It kind of screws up my whole day of just exploring and not worry about anything. So go off in the day and then we just go from here to here to here. And it's like, oh, I have to be back. Well, I got this thing at 3. I didn't want to fall into that sort of thing, that trip, because everything was new and I wanted to explore and I wanted to see everything, and wherever it takes me, and it was easier. But if I ran into them, I'd be like, hey, let's do something impromptu. I would have totally done that. But to lock myself into a set amount of time when I had very little time, I just didn't want to do that right away. So eventually, I have no problem talking with people, hanging out with people. I know people are, oh, stay away from other vloggers or whatever. But why? Why am I going to run away? It's no big deal. I'm still going to do my own thing the way I do my own thing. I have no problem if somebody wants to hang out and collaborating, and it's not a bad thing. Otherwise people will never find out about you because you're at the whim of YouTube. It doesn't mean that only this many people will like your content and that you've got them all. No, it's just you have to really stand out in order for enough people to eventually find your channel, and maybe there'll be a lot more people that will enjoy it. So, by the way, I'm still looking at this thing, Frank. So crazy. Thank you very much, Frank. That was so much. I don't know why my chat thing here. It seems to be. I am still live, right? I'm gonna pop it out again, I think. Yeah. I think, Frank, you broke it on me. I got no other things after that. It got froze on me. And so I couldn't see any more of these comments, but yeah, see it like that. Damn, Frank. Yeah. Check out Romblon. Yeah, so I did spend, so I've been to Romblon, but I've been to Tablas, Romblon. And I got to tell you, guys, super beautiful, super beautiful. I was in La Oc, Santa Fe, those kind of places. Undungan. I'm really terrible at that one. It's a really long name. And that's where the ferries go and everything else. They do have, I believe, a small airport right now, and they, at least on that whole big island there, and they do have these ferries and sort of thing. No big malls or anything. They just got a Jollibee, right? They just got a Jollibee for the whole island. So yes, very, very. That's the simple life. That's super simple life. And I just want to be close to a city. I want to be able to just drive very short distance to get to a city. Otherwise, I really loved it there. The people were amazing, by the way. Absolutely, the most friendly people you can ever imagine. It was fantastic. So yeah. Oh no, we're no online entrepreneur. Let's get it to 500. No, listen, I'm not trying. I'm not asking. Just appreciative. Very, very, very appreciative. And that's an amazing thing for you. Hi from Japan. Wife and I hope to meet you on our next trip to Iloilo. Of course, I try my best all the time to meet. Sometimes I'm not in the city. Sometimes I'm already swamped, but I will try my damnedest because I appreciate all of you. And I was all of you once when I came to the Philippines, and I was trying, like I said, I'm messaging these guys and everything. And I never want to be that person that's not answering. And like, I'm going to hate it when I have to get to that point where maybe I'll have to hire somebody and then they can filter through and they go, this one you really need to talk to, that kind of thing. Very important, obviously. So, yeah, I'm really, really interested in hanging out, meeting with people, have a beer, do whatever, have a coffee, whatever you're into. And I can't wait. I can't wait. Please don't get. Yeah, I honestly, Akesio, saying please don't give any more than 1 month's deposits. I tried my damnedest. It's so hard. The thing is supply and demand. So if you move to a place where there's a lot of places and not a lot of people renting, you hold all the cards. If you're in a place where they're like, I have 10 more people set up this week to come see it, you just don't have the negotiating power. And so for me, it's finding a place where I can actually have that ability to do it. Yes. Nomad Capitalist. That's the one. That's the YouTube channel. So yeah, that's like the thing. I really want to be in a position where you can really, really do it. Yeah, do your research on collabs. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, people will link you if you put them. If it's not if you run into them on the street and they just like, hey, and you're like, oh hey, and you can have a little chat or whatever. But if you organize something and sit down with them, any drama they go through, somehow you're at fault for it too. Like, you interviewed them once, that kind of thing. I don't want to get down that path of drama and everything else either. Who would, right? So yeah, I know, I get it. You're supposed to like vet people and everything, but you can't possibly know every deep dark secret about every single person before you talk to them. But yeah, it would be a lot easier if you just run into them. Then nobody's going to blame you because you just ran into them and talked to it. I know it seems crazy. You shouldn't have to worry about bullshit like that. Each individual is responsible for your own individuality. So yeah. Oh, it's my birthday. Can I get shout outs? Anyway, let's see. Offset Classified. Is that really your name though? Happy birthday to you, but I'm going to need what kind of name do you want? You got to tell me the name. So Americans can have as many passports as they want. However, some countries require you to renounce your citizenship. Yeah, exactly. I was looking in, we were thinking of it because Bianca would end up with, when we were together, she would end up with a Philippines passport and a Canadian passport. And I was like, I want that ability too. And so I was looking in Malaysia. You just get their golden visa program was like 140,000, I think it is. You can buy a condo, whatever. And after 3 years, you get or I think it was even right away. And you can just slowly have your money back over 3 years. I think that's what it was. Anyway, you get a second passport. How cool would that be? Legends never die. Yes, indeed. Okay, so yeah, look at all the people wishing you happy birthday, OPSEC. Yeah, we don't know your real name though. Is that the name you're going to use? Texas Filipino. Hello, talked to your ex last night. Group of expats hung out last night. Oh, there you go. Fantastic. Maybe we can visit soon. Yes, please. Yeah, I know she was out at the she went to the cosplay thing, and then I think she went to the raves, like all the parties last night. And so she'll have her content for that for sure. But I didn't know you were there too, Texas Filipino. She did not tell me. There you go. Let's see. People's like, Frank, where's my $100? Like, oh my gosh, don't get trapped there, Frank. All right, let's see. Romblon is the location in the center of the Philippines. Yep, I really loved it there. Like I said, no part. I do have to go run back to Romblon. Romblon. That's where they literally make the marble that is on your countertops and everything. Not just here, obviously in Italy too, but it's like everywhere. I'm told, just absolute everywhere. Marble, beautiful marble. So I do want to go. I did the 2 times I went to there. I was really enjoying my time in Loc and Santa Fe and all that kind of stuff. So next time, different island, same province. Oh, that's really thank you, Frank. I was just reading your whole thing there. That you were just collecting all of the times you wanted to. But either way, Frank, you didn't have to do that, and it's absolutely amazing you did that. Thank you, Sonia. The 100 Islands in Pangasinan, Pangasinan is a must-visit destination. I have not been there. I don't think. 100 Islands, and I'm gonna have to look that up afterwards. Pangasinan. It's not. It's not coming. Do you have the negotiating power in Cebu? So Cebu does have a lot cheaper rentals there. So yes, if in a city like that, yeah. Now the whole province, maybe not. It depends because you might be looking for a house by the water, and if you want something like that, there's only 5 of them that are for rent ever in that area. Well, then you know you're not going to have that. But if you are looking for something that is in a price point where the market is full of them, of course you're going to have that. So a place like Cebu is definitely going to have a lot more. It's just Iloilo just got crazy. Let's be honest, it just got crazy. There's just not so many that this house is not gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, and the furniture's fine, but it's definitely not something a Westerner is going to look at and go, "Well, I can't live here." No, they're all going to be like, "Yeah, okay, cool. This is a good place." You know, it fits the bill, and there's not so many that are already break that. I don't have wood couches, and I have real sofas, you know, that kind of thing, and I have real mattresses on the beds, and like there's nothing really to do here other than yes, there's no hot water heaters. But you know what? The tank up there, sometimes it gets pretty warm. But yeah, I just learned to live without having hot showers. Other than when I go away, we're going to a hotel. God, you can't keep me out of there. Half an hour, I'll be in that shower because I'm like, yes, hot water. Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna sit here forever. I'd probably have a much bigger electric bill if I did have a hot water heater because I would be doing that. Where now it's cold, so you're just pits. Well, you know, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but yeah, give you an idea. You really have to just go real quick and scoot through it all. So yeah, go very very quick. Which apparently hot showers are bad for your skin and all that stuff too. Dehydrates you, everything. And I don't know if it ages you. I don't know. Anyway, cold showers are supposed to be the very best for you anyway, so I guess I'm getting it automatically. Question: what does it take to get a working visa in the Philippines? Does a national need to sponsor a foreigner? So yeah, you need a job. You need a job offer, and they have to. Then from there you can get that, but they have when they do it, they have to get they have to send to immigration saying explaining why that job can't be done by anybody in the Philippines. Well, it's not really the Philippines, like in that area, right? We put out for this. We couldn't find anybody that met the skills in this area. Therefore, we're going to hire them. For example, if it's a call center that deals with people in Canada and that's all they do, well, they could technically hire probably 5 Canadians. Immigration would have no problem with it to help make sure that lingo and nuance and everything else with the rest of the call center people is working out, you know, or somebody who's just gets frustrated because they're not really getting what they're trying to say, and so they need a manager, and so one of them would come on the phone, and they're Canadian, so they'll be like, can talk and be related in some way. You know, those kind of jobs exist. So there are jobs that are very specific to foreigners, or if you wanted to be in acting or modeling and they need a foreigner for a movie, well, clearly you have to be a foreigner, so they don't need a Filipino. There are things that you can get permits on, but for the most part, most jobs can be done by a Filipino, so it's really difficult. That being said, the biggest corporations here kind of have the easiest way. They really don't have any problem hiring people because, well, they have the right connections and they can get you the thing. But yeah, they have to apply for it on your behalf to get you the job here. some jobs, there are some jobs that pay, decent enough where you can make 50,000 pesos a month, that kind of thing. So $1,000 a month, American, maybe $800 American. There are, not saying there aren't in BGC. Yes, there are 250,000, 300,000 pesos a month. So now you're making in that, divide by 5, so $1,500 to $2,500 a month, US dollars, which you're in the Philippines, but you're in BGC. Everything costs a lot more and that kind of thing. So, and again, of course, there's jobs that pay way, way, way more. You're going to be a doctor or something like that. You can make a lot more money, especially if you're being brought in. But for the most part, don't expect to be like hyper rich here working for a living. You're just going to be probably at a higher level. But you really do need a job that is geared towards a foreigner or can't be filled for some reason. You can't just take any job. It just won't work. Immigration won't approve it. Look, this country is Philippines first, so that's how it's going to go when it comes to hiring people. But you can start a business, you can start a corporation, and then you can hire people, that kind of thing. Let's see. We feel you deserve the 1 million subs. Thank you. Well, maybe one day we'll get to the 1 million subs, but I'll be doing a lot of traveling from now to then, and I hope I've seen the whole Philippines by the time I hit the 1 million. That would be amazing. All right, you should travel to the beautiful mountains of Benguet. Don't know where that is. You have to give me a little more detail. I haven't used soap for almost a year now. Oh, I started when I watched a YouTube. Oh yeah, experiment dirt versus soap. The dirt cleaned well and had less bacteria than using soap. Interesting. I am 32, been working on the affordability of or ability to afford a lifestyle change where I don't have to work anymore. My goal at 35. You know what? When I was younger, I wish I had these goals too. If I just put it away, and put it in investments and that kind of thing, would have been much, much, much better. Let's see. I was asking if it was a requirement, especially 13A, which is through marriage. I don't know what they're asking here. So close to 20,000. I know I wanted to get there by the end of the month. Hey, it is the 31 day in this month, so I do have 3 more days. There you go. I don't know if I can do 3,000 in 3 days, but we'll try. Let's go for it. Why not? We got a lot of people talking here about with each other, which is fine with me. If you're back in, there it is. Odd. Oh, I think you spelled it wrong. Isn't there an O-N? Ondongagan. You can always stay at our house there. Oh, thank you very much. That'd be awesome. Okay, so you guys are having your own conversation back and forth. That's cool. Fine with me. Western Canada gigolo. Is that Mr. Macau? Are you a gigolo? Nice. Go get those ladies. I met in CQR. I met this Vancouver couple. Fantastic. I think they're in their 60s. I don't remember the exact age, but he said like when we turned 60s, we retired. And they've been just traveling all over the world. The stories they've heard. And they've just been going all over the Philippines now. And they were loving every minute of it. They were absolutely having a blast that night. They ended up just joining us because we started chatting. And then next thing, they just became part of our table. Wonderful, fantastic people. And they still go back to Canada because they love the snow and they go skiing. And I'm like, well, you love the snow because you live in Vancouver. Try to go to Ontario. See if you love the snow. Minus 50. Oof. No, thank you. Greetings from Chicago. Hello, Hankster. Hello. 1,500 is enough for the Philippines, but 2,000 to 3,000. Yeah. And it depends. Like if you had a 1,500 in the provinces, you would be like Pablo Escobar. Okay. It depends. If you want to live in a city, he's not that wrong. You can live on 1,000, very small, but you got to live small. Small little place, not condo or anything, but like you can rent places here for 8,000 to 10,000 pesos a month. No problem. They'll just be like smaller, whatever. You can have a little air conditioning and pay for the electricity on it, but you could do $1,000. And that's those give you money to go out for dinner and stuff like that. It's just you had to live that way. But 1,500 is a good price if you want to have most things in that you would expect every single day without worrying about money. 2 to 3,000, he's right. Yeah, you can live pretty good. Now, if you buy your house, like build a house or whatever, or buy something, right? Not a condo, because you have to pay 7,000-8,000 pesos a month in your fees. But if you, like, for example, my friend John, who's married to Filipina, they built their house, and their monthly budget's about 120,000 pesos a month, and they live a great life. They have a gorgeous house, but they've already paid for the house. The house, that's no payments or anything, and so they have solar. So their electricity is next to nothing. So they pay their internet. They go out for dinner a lot. They enjoy. They shop at SNR, that kind of thing. And 120,000 pesos a month is all they need. It's all they need. So they're living on like $2,400 a month, 2,000 whatever, and they're living a fantastic life. And I'm talking the high life, right? So it's a really, really good. Hey, Philippines in full effect, Stephen. Stephen, how you doing, brother? I haven't seen you in a bit. Like 3, 4, 5 days? No, actually, I haven't seen you since. No, that was Mark I saw. I didn't see you. So, how are you doing, Stephen? Actually, I saw your wife recently. That's right, it is. But you weren't there. Anyway, Stephen's fantastic. Philippines full effect. They got to put up more videos, I got to tell you. But they've been in Coron. They had not Coron, Puerto Princesa, so Palawan. He's owned businesses. They have a house there. Now they have they rent houses here. And so if you want to click on him and subscribe to him, why not? You will get to see a side of life I've never been able to show. He also goes through all his trials and tribulations of opening a business. And he had many locations, all these stores in different malls here across the Philippines. And so he went through the whole thing, and because of the pandemic being shut down, all these stores, like his whole story and his life there and everything. Very, very interesting, and something you're not going to find on my channel. It's separate. Maybe one day when I start a business, I do plan on that kind of thing. So one day for sure. So if you marry a Filipino and build a house for $20,000, you can grow and raise your own food. And you can live. Sure, you can. Of course, I think what they're talking about, these numbers and everything, that is living in like the high life area. So you want to live in Mega Worlds, BGC Mega Worlds Festival, Mega Worlds area in Bacolod, or these Ayala Corporation, where you have everything. Walk to the movie theater, walk to the cafes, the bars, the restaurants, the nightclubs, everything is right there, and you can go out and just do these things. These are the numbers that I see flashing on the screen here. If you want to live much more simply, you can do great things. You can do it once you pay for your solar, then your electricity's free, if you have batteries and stuff like that, or at least have it reversed so that extra is being sold during the day so that your night bill's paid for, or whatever. So many little things that you can do to really reduce your costs, but it's not the same life as the guy who just lives in a condo and just goes out and parties 3 nights a week and is part of 3 other social clubs and does this and that, and they got their little bougie dogs. You ever seen the Eastwood? They're always promoting on their thing about all the things they have for pets, dogs and cats, and it's very bougie. It's like they have like little purses for their dogs. It's crazy. So if you have that whole lifestyle there, it's going to cost a lot more money than having a little farm with your wife and maybe your children. But you know what? It's all how you want to live your life. What is your ideal life? That's the life that you should be going for, and that's the life that will change everything. Because if you wanted to have that life that we're talking about, the parties and just being able to be a part of everything, that would be like the upper echelon of life in New York City or in Toronto and Vancouver and whatever, LA. That would be $25,000 a month life, maybe even 20, 15. Okay. But no, not even 15. There's no way. 20, 25. I'm just going based on Toronto here. If you wanted to have that kind of life, it's going to cost you $20,000 a month. And so, here it's going to cost you 10% of that. Just to put perspective on it, it is still a good price, but it's not like attainable for the average person here working at McDonald's or sorry, right? Like, yes, we can say that is true, but then same thing in Canada. That life I was saying about the $25,000 a month budget and just living like a king is not attainable by somebody working at McDonald's in Canada either. So it's all relative. Oh, here we go. Ben Shepard. I have noticed and appreciated the hustle last couple of weeks. Keep it going, and you will meet your goal. Thank you very much, Ben. Of course, I got to keep going. Got to keep going because I actually enjoy it, and I love doing it. I really do. So, very much appreciated. Thank you very much, Ben. That's really nice of you. I think it's me YouTube channel is not as big as like that. Oh, I guess you guys are having a conversation there. I don't know. I think I've seen the it's me thing before somewhere. David Scott, good day, mate. To eat when you want with a girlfriend and you're looking for $1,000, walking around money, 700, 550, 900 for your resident. Okay, you guys are. Well, you guys are just having a whole conversation without me here. That's cool. It's cool. Trust me, it is. Find a piece of land with a river, a stream, and hydropower. Yeah, exactly. I thought of the same thing. I was like, you got all these mountains, water's just literally pouring out of there. And I'm like, wow, you could so easily. Because if, say you do it at a river level, you might run into trouble because that might be irrigation for fields down the way. Next thing you're going to have problems. You're going to have barangay captains calling you an undesirable and you're out of this country. You know, if you go start screwing up with farmers and their ability to make food. So be careful, obviously. But if you have it right from the mountain coming out there and you can generate the power and it doesn't affect the stream down below and everything, woo, you could have tons of free electricity. And I recently saw, don't see this very often, over somebody's house there, that they had the wind and, you know, the little smaller wind turbines that turn and spin and wherever way the wind is coming. And, yeah, you just have 2 or 3 of those in addition to your solar and something. You could be a powerhouse. And you can sell electricity back here. So, oh, wait. No. So you can sell electricity back, but only as a credit. I remember that now. They don't give you cash. So that's why a lot of people don't do the batteries thing here unless the grid is doing what it's been doing lately. Now, you really want to have a battery, but for most part, they just want to cover their nights with the excess so that they have a zero bill or maybe 100 pesos, 50 pesos, that kind of thing. But I think if you form a corporation and then do like a solar farm, yes, you could make it money back, but I don't think so on the other side. How do the Philippines live on $300 a month? Large families, they don't live alone. It's not like Canada where you turn 18, you go get yourself a little basement apartment with your minimum wage job. And I don't even know if that's a life anymore, by the way, in Canada. But let's say I remember that you could get an apartment for $200 a month. You're making minimum wage, so you're making $800 a month, and you walk to work, you bus to work, you bought some food, and that was your life, and you had your own place. Well, that doesn't exist anymore or anything. But here, that's not a thing. You don't go, when you turn 18, you don't go and get your own place on a minimum wage job and that kind of thing. You stay living at home in the family unit. You all contribute to the family unit. There are no pension type things here like you would imagine. And so your generations ahead of you are giving to the grandparents to live. There's always money coming back to the family, that kind of thing, so that they can finally retire, that kind of thing. So it's different here, right? Like when you do that thought process, and again, I don't think in Canada anybody on minimum wage could start off and just go get their own apartment nowadays either. But that's not a thing here. You wait till you get married. You wait till, or you move in because you're going to school and you move in with like 5 other people and you get these, you'll see these places that say bed sharers or whatever you want to call it, or what is it called? Women spacers or something. So it's like a house of all women. And so you go get a job somewhere and then you get a bed in a room with other women. And that's a way for them to build up wealth because they can only pay 3, 4, or 5,000 pesos a month to live and bank or send home all the rest of the money. So it's just different here because the family units are much bigger. You're not going to move out until you have saved a lot of money living at home. Even when you're married, you might live at home for a long period of time and then get your own place and grow on from that. So yeah, expecting a minimum wage pay to have a whole apartment all to yourself and have a life and pay for your transportation and do all these things, it's unrealistic, I feel like now, even in Canada, but it's unrealistic here. So, yeah, but now you go to college here, a lot of the jobs are paying, a low-end job will be paying like 25,000 pesos a month. but a lot of them are 30 to 50,000, and that's starting right out of college, and you can eventually get into the hundreds of thousands of pesos, which in this country is a lot of money. So yeah, the more that keep going to school, and there are tons and tons are going to college, university, that kind of thing. A lot of the schools like this, the province schools, that kind of thing, the free ones, a lot more can go to those, and the families can afford to send them. It's just changing the whole dynamic of the Philippines. It just takes time. Which health insurance? So yeah, Michael Onstad is in here, the Pacific Cross, and I would definitely recommend Michael Onstad. It doesn't cost you any different to use him over another broker or anything. So just, he's Canadian. He really knows his shit, and he will not lie to you. He will not give you fluff or anything, and he has different options for you. And that's who I'd recommend. And I feel very comfortable in recommending him. Oh, look at this. So Kit, wow, $25. Wow. Thank you very much, Kit. This is, wow. Kit W, everybody, thank you very much. $25. That's, you guys are all so generous. I'm finding myself running out of how to properly say these words, and I just appreciate you all very much. So Kit, that's really awesome of you. Thank you so very much. Crazy thank you. Like I don't even know. I've never had this happen before, so I'm like a little lost right now, where normally we might get one $10 one or something. Maybe somebody gave me a 20 once, and I don't I'm like literally out of words. I don't know what to say. It's never happened. And thank you. Well, another one, Michael Harn. You may not have showed up on the screen yet, but once again, thank you, Michael. $20. Wow. And I see here your picture. You guys may not see, because it's probably much smaller for you. And unfortunately, my thing's not working where I can stick it on the screen, like my own. It's still going to show up on the screen. And he's got here where I think he is asking his fiance to marry him. I hope you guys are married now. I don't know, Michael, but congratulations regardless, because it looks like it may be recent. So that's amazing. And you did it right at the beach, or right on the waterfront anyway, which is awesome. Wow. Seriously. Thank you. Wow. Now my chat is like literally lagging out here. I can't believe why it's, there we go. Wow, still blown away. I had a client in the U.S. who bought and paid for his land before applying for the building permit. It was a lot in the middle of thousands of other homes, and it was declared a wetland by that time. That's insane. Wow. Was it California or somewhere, in Florida? No, Florida wouldn't be as much of a problem, I think. But wow. Yeah, you got to be careful everywhere you are in the world. It's true, Donna is saying, no matter what, no matter where you are, like here, obviously, like I'm always saying, like there's just so many people. When you walk down the street here, how many people have a shot with us? People invite you to their home for food, like super incredibly friendly people. And I know many of you heard me say this before, because people say it to me all the time, right? They're like, oh, that's because you're a foreigner. I'm like, okay. So go to Canada as a foreigner, and I want to see you get treated the same way as a foreigner gets treated here. It just won't happen. They are just epically amazing people. That doesn't mean don't be careful. That doesn't mean to be double check everything. It doesn't mean don't get your release notarized and make sure everything's in writing. And yes, do all these things. You can on one hand say Filipinos are the sweetest, most kindest people in the world. On the other hand, know that doesn't mean every single person has the exact same motivations, the exact same everything, situations, everything. So yes, be very, very careful. I've learned my lesson so many times, and I'm sure I'm going to fall down 10, 100 more times. I'm definitely not perfect, but yeah. Kokalati, is YouTube all you live on? All you live on? Oh, live on. So yeah, when I left Canada, I sold everything I owned. And so when we left, we went to Cambodia. Yes, we made some videos there, but we got no views or whatever, right? Like some. It was a brand new channel, and we weren't yeah, there wasn't much to show because it was pandemic. And they went all locked down. So we went to Albania. But not many people even heard of Albania. Plus, YouTube's algorithm was no, you can't see what's going on in Albania because as we mentioned many times, and you can see in the other channel in the videos that everything was open while everybody else was locked in their homes. Well, our nightclubs are open. Everything's packed, and there's not only packed. It's like the town of 25,000 that literally faces Greece, which is all completely locked down, 1 kilometer away or approximately 1 kilometer over the water anyway. There's Greece. They're fully locked down. They can't do anything. On this side, nightclubs are open, parties are open. And then the town of 25,000 grew to 250,000 because everybody in the world was like, wait, I don't even need a negative test to fly there. I don't need masks. No, you don't need anything. Just come and hang out and party. The only restriction that we ended up getting was during the summer, they had a curfew like 1 or 2 o'clock, which they only implemented on businesses, not on the people. You can walk around all you want. And then when it got winter, their winter is not terrible, not at all. Then they dropped it to like 10 so this was just a few months they did this, and that was their restrictions. Like, that's a restriction. So yeah, it was like a completely different world. So the algorithm clearly was like, yeah, we're not showing this to the rest of the world. It just wasn't the thing to show because I was watching. So I'm like, why is the whole world falling apart here? And look at my window, and I'm like, there's a huge soccer match going on with people in the stadium everywhere, but they're saying like the world's ending. I look out my window, it's not ending. You see what I mean? Like, so it was not. There was a lot of things you couldn't say, couldn't do, and we were showing Albania, and we get no views. I thought 1,000 views was a huge deal for me back then, and so yeah, we couldn't live on YouTube. We just had savings, right? And I invested it and lived off my investments, and we just. Our investments or whatever. And so even when we came to the Philippines, it took some time before you make money. Like even now, I work my ass off, right? But I won't see any money until the end of February so that I can start getting the stuff going because anything I did at January 1st doesn't get paid till the end of February. That's how YouTube works. And so you need some time to build up. You need some time. You can't just live off of it. So it's been a very long time, a long way. Had to do a lot of things. It was really good to see you, Texas Filipino. Glad you have collaborated with him. Yeah, he's been great. We've only run into him, and that's how it keeps happening. We're down at the beach, run into him. Wonderful guy, amazing. He's never usually vlogging, actually, when I run into him. He's just hanging out, I think. I don't think he was vlogging, so I don't think I've ever been on his, but he's definitely shown up on mine. Not on this channel, but the other channel. After your video, I spent some time looking at rentals in Rojas. Very affordable. Yes, it is very affordable. And, for me, it's also the ones that aren't on there. They're not available. I think you can find some gems, and that's where I plan to do. I plan to go look for gems if I pick that place to live in for sure. Absolutely for sure. And, yeah, it's a beautiful place. It really is. And I just see the potential and everything. Imagine if I had money, I would be buying lots or even a couple of the condos because there's so few condos right now. So now is the time. And that school's being built and the big Capitol building is being built right beside them. To me, it seems like a no-brainer just knowing how things have been all over the place where the prices just keep going through the roof. And there's so few Airbnbs over there that, yeah, to me, it seems like a no-brainer. I just don't have the money to do that. I can't do that. And I'm not selling anybody on anything. Just be clear. Nothing to do with it. I'm not even giving you a name of a place. Just go rent something over there or buy something. I mean, you can't go wrong. It's literally, you're at the precipice of something really amazing. I just don't see if I want to live there, if I could find everything, and if I could be, I don't know, mobile enough, all those things. I'll be looking at it. My fiance visited me in Iloilo. We spent $500 for 15 days. Well, that's good. We cook fresh meals every day. That's fantastic. Yeah, like if you don't go to the grocery store for vegetables, go to the market. Whew, even the meats, often you can get cheaper, obviously, at the market. But some stores, it's actually almost the same price too. But yeah, you can get all kinds of stuff here, especially fresh. But if you know the farm market people or whatever. And you know how to cook, and you can stay dedicated. It's just too easy. It's like the West, right? I remember Uber was the same problem. So Uber is Grab here. It's just too easy to, I feel a little hungry at 10 o'clock. And next thing you order a gigantic meal where if you cooked at home, you would make like fried egg sandwich, something small. And that's the right answer. Not let's order this gigantic meal from McDonald's at 10 o'clock at night or midnight or whatever. But it's so easy to click that button. And then you see at the end of the month, whoa, I spent 17,000, 14,000, 12,000 pesos this month just on Grab. That's terrible. So it's a hard trap to not do that. Are you staying in Rojas now and not Iloilo? No, this is Iloilo right now. I've just been looking at a lot of places to move to, that can A, change up in content. B, because I love Iloilo. I don't want anybody to think I don't. B, when this lease ends here, they're going to raise this price to 40. I'm positive of that. The market is really hot here, and there's a lot of people wanting to move here, and costs are going to be higher here. And so it's a combination, like go and try an adventure, and it might be just a town or two from here. Save a bunch of money, start a new venture, surround myself with stuff here, but I still have to come here. I have so many friends here. I made so many amazing friends here in Iloilo City that I couldn't possibly imagine like not coming back or not hanging out here. After your video, I spent some time. Yeah, so Facebook Marketplace isn't the only place. There are some private groups, so just join them and then just some of them are scams, so you just got to remove them immediately after you join them. But yeah, look for rental house for rent type things of that city. So Iloilo has the same thing, like Iloilo house rentals, and there'll be like 15,000 in the group. There is actually more postings there than on Marketplace. Doesn't mean they're not scams. You got to be really careful. Bait and switch is kind of common too, where they'll put pictures of a house. It was crazy because a friend of ours, he was like, "Oh, I'm going to see this house today." He was showing me the pictures, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's in Puerto Real or wherever it was." I have something on my hand, and it wasn't. I'm like, I have a video on this house. I was invited into it. I know it's for rent for 70,000 or 75,000 pesos. It's in Westwood, not in Puerto Real. And so he texted the guy going, I'm told this house, and the guy's like, "Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, that house is rented." So he was showing him pictures of one house to convince him to come out with him so that he could sell him on whatever is actually available. But if he showed him pictures of what's available, he may not want to go out with them. So see that bait and switch sort of thing? He's just trying to convince them that that's what you could do, right? Like that, to convince him to go with that sales rep. So that's a little slimy to me, a little scammy, right? So, instead of just showing what's actually available in the market, would you like to go see them? Yeah. Anyway, it happened to him. It was really, do a video on Leyte. Yeah, you know what? I want to go to Leyte. The beaches absolutely look amazing there. Also, I think Samar was another one. Well, that whole area, actually, that whole strip. I know you guys get pounded. I don't know if you're in that area, but you get pounded over there with the typhoons. All you have to do is watch. Every time we have a typhoon, here we just get a little bit of rain. We don't get anything. They fixed all the flooding, most of the parts, and some low-lying subdivisions that are not publicly owned. But for the most part, flooding has been dramatically improved here. But that's all Iloilo gets. They don't get the brunt of typhoons. And so you look at every time we get a typhoon, on the map, it shows it going up. Every time that coast over there, the East Coast, just gets slammed. But it's paradise over there. I swear there is like intelligent design or just whatever, religious context. God made it that way, that they make the most beautiful places in the world with the biggest commodities, whatever. So you go to Florida, the typhoons, right? You go to California, earthquakes. You got, it's like the most perfect places have to be destabilized because we can't make it too good for you. And so when I see Leyte and Samar and those type of places there, I see these gorgeous beaches and you can get houses super cheap on the beach and just like all that. Of course it has to come with typhoons. You can't make it too easy. Yeah, so that's interesting. So is it worth buying a condo there in Haro? I'm trying to think where the condos are in Haro. Help me out. Is there any condos in Haro? Like maybe if you're talking a 2 or 3 story building or something maybe, and that's why I didn't notice it, but I think, is that part of Haro or is that Mandurriao? I thought it was Mandurriao. I don't think there is anything I'm not sure. I'm really sorry about that, eh? Because I can't think of any condos in Haro. I'd have to look into that. I'm not sure. I'm still all for shipping red deer from New Zealand and eating a good steak. Yeah, steak is absolutely amazing. Got great places to distribute it here though. Now that I know MULA, they have the deli in there. You go in there, all the steaks you want. Just the prices are really reasonable, better than SNR. So, yeah, I really highly recommend them. Kalibo, would he be even cheaper since it's not a city yet? Yeah, so Kalibo, I loved it there. The people were there amazing there and everything, but it's still got a ways to go. I don't believe they have an SM or Robinson Mall or anything like the modern stuff. I'd have to drive a long way to Rojas City in order to get it. So Kalibo is a good choice if you have a longer perspective or if it's in a few years from now, but definitely. Whew, I have to go to Dana again, though, guys, and it's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Holy smokes. My head's blowing up. I can't even believe I've gone this long. Listen, I have to end this so I can go, not miss out on Dana again. But yeah, if you ever have questions or anything, all my channels, there's Facebook in there or email, right? One of those two you should have. If you're thinking of moving to the Philippines, get yourself a Facebook. I know I didn't have one before coming here either. But it's life here. You want anything, you want to look something up or anything. Most businesses only have that. So yeah, definitely want to just message me there if you have any questions you ever need answers to or whatever, something going on. Please check in with me. I don't mind at all. I may take a little while to get to, but I will definitely. Yeah, so that's about it though. I wanted to thank seriously all of you for coming. For the members, I can see them they're green and they got the blue stars beside them. Really appreciate all of you. And then these super chats, which I still don't know what to say other than extremely thank you. I'm just blown away. Thank you very much. So yeah, I appreciate it. I haven't done a whole lot of lives on here. Now I did this one here and it's been so amazing. So thank you very much, all of you, for joining. I'm trying to drag this because I know I have to go 40 seconds to see your final comments when you all say goodbye, because there's a delay from the time I say things and you guys actually hear them. So, but I do want to say again, thank you very much. I hope you guys have an amazing time. If you're in Iloilo, hopefully we'll see you over at Dinagan. The party doesn't ever stop. I have videos coming out right away. Plus, I should have mentioned, there's going to be a video coming out about a place you can live, not far, that literally you can live right on the edge of a golf course. Amazing golf course, by the way, with some of the best food I've ever had at different restaurants and everything that I did not even know they were there. Like modern, like amazing food, like melt in your mouth food. Just everything about it. It is another amazing place that you might want to consider for sure, especially if you love golfing, because you can golf. Memberships there so cheap. Everything about it. You do have to find the memberships. That's another thing I can talk about. But anyway, it is going to be an absolute amazing video when I get it finally edited and up. But the next couple of days, it's going to be there. So I hopefully you guys will see it. And yeah, thank you for supporting. I did upload a video earlier this morning too. So, just check it out. As long as you watch for like 3 minutes or something, the algorithm will like me for it. But anyway, John B., thank you very much, brother. Yeah, you're catching me right at the end. Sorry, it has been many hours. So thank you for joining though with the last minute there. You can always rewind. Anyway, thank you guys. I hope you have all an amazing time, amazing, wonderful weekend. And we'll see you again, I guess, real soon. Thank you very much. See you guys.